All this story would start in the battle against the powerful Gas Warrior. Even the Z Warriors were defeated, so Goku and Vegeta and their respective doctrines tried to do something against him, but it was impossible for them. However, when everything seemed lost, the evil Emperor Frieza had arrived at the battlefield, leaving all the warriors present surprised, because in his last form, he released an amazing power without having transformed.
Ho ho ho! Who would say that you, the most powerful Saiyan of all the universes, would be in such a pathetic condition? But don't worry, your savior has arrived.
Frieza would start walking towards Gas, who, a little annoyed, had been throwing himself against him. However, Frieza, with a little difficulty, was able to dodge each of his blows. So at the moment, Frieza had connected a big blow with his tail.
You really are a powerful warrior, but it won't be enough for my true power, so you better be prepared.
Frieza would begin to increase his power in an incredible way. So much was his power that, on this occasion, even the entire Universe 6, 7, and 8 trembled because of all the power of Frieza.
Whose power is this? I can't believe. It's neither Goku's nor Vegeta's, but the power they're unleashing is compared to the power of a god of destruction of the highest level.
Mr. Beerus, it will go better to investigate since we don't know who is the warrior that is releasing all that power. Both deities began to head towards where all the great power was released. However, the gods of Universes 6 and 8 were also very surprised, since it was something unreal that the power of a warrior is able to be felt in another universe.
The power he feels is incredible. Even this was for sure he's able to defeat Beerus, considering the most powerful god.
Returning to the Baya field, Frieza had completed his transformation. So at the moment, Frieza would be seen in his new transformation. That's right, the Emperor had ascended to his state of Black Frieza. So the power that emanated was incredible.
Ho ho ho! I apologize for the delay, but I'm not used to using all my power. But I'll end your life in the next 15 seconds.
Furious Gas had been launched against Frieza, but the evil Emperor had an overwhelming speed, was able to move towards Gas, and with a powerful blow to his abdomen, he was able to completely cross it, an act that would leave Goku and Vegeta surprised.
I can't believe the power Frieza possesses this time. Even he would be able to end our lives. I'm not gonna let that damn insect be more powerful than me, the Prince of the Saiyans.
Frieza at the moment was able to end the life of Gas with incredible ease, because Frieza's power had been increased in an amazing way. So at the moment, Goku and Vegeta, without a few words, had launched themselves against Frieza. However, Frieza, with a much faster reaction speed, was able to leave Goku and Vegeta in terrible conditions, losing their doctrines.
Ho ho ho! Be thankful that today I don't want to end your lives, because I have some excellent plans for you.
Vegeta would instantly leave the place, so the other warriors were able to help recover Goku and Vegeta. But at the moment, the Prince of the Saiyans would expel all his power because he couldn't stand the humiliation by the Emperor of Evil.
I don't care what kind of training you've received. I swear I'll end your pathetic life. I'll strive, and I want your reward head.
But Vegeta, this is impossible for us right now, since he was even able to end the life of Gas, a warrior who even defeated us completely. However, at the top of all the 12 universes, Daishoken had observed everything that happened in Universe 7.
The power of the Saiyans of Universe 7 has grown in an incredible way, but they don't compare with the power of that demon.
But from the whole realm of the All, the gigantic power that was able to make all the 12 universes shudder would be released, since the Zeno-sama of the future would begin to have strong headaches. Because in all his interior, his mind, divine vein, even his spiritual sea was completely corrupted by the negative energy of the future. But the Zeno-sama of the present was trying to help him. It was the worst mistake he made, because by touching him, he would begin to be part of the Zeno-sama of the future.
Finally, I've been able to master the power of this damn dwarf. After millions of years, I've been able to become the king of the whole.
Daishoken would quickly enter the room, where the king was completely realizing that both guardians were on the floor completely annihilated.
Who are you, and where have you been able to control the body of the great Zeno?
Ha! I'll have you know that all your answers will be able to beat my guardians.
It's a pity, apparently, by controlling the body of the great Zeno-sama, your body, even your mind has been affected, as both guardians were annihilated by you.
but Daishinkan was surprised noticing how hundreds of shadows rose from the ground itself, as if they were summoned from the underworld itself.
What the hell's going on? Have you been able to bring them back to life with that disgusting negative energy?
Both Guardians, despite not having changed in anything physically, the energy they gave off was of pure revenge and stench of blood. The Battle of the Trio of Warriors would be perceived by all 12 universes, because the power they released was able to spread through each of the universes. My brothers, our fathers fighting the Guardians of the great Zeno-sama, but even if they have the same appearance, their energies of pure evil.
That's right. We'll have to do something. Doesn't matter that even if we fall on the battlefield, we'll have lived for millions of years.
The angels of each of the 12 universes were preparing for that great battle. However, Daishinkan would communicate with Whis, the Supreme Angel.
Whis, I appreciate your support right now, but no matter what we do, we will be defeated. But I want you to, in the angelic dimension, to send 4 warriors.
But Father, among the 12 angels next to you, we can defeat the Guardians until the King of the All returns.
That's the problem, Whis. Zeno-sama's been completely manipulated, and we won't be able to do anything against him.
Whis was surprised by Daishinkan's clarification, but would be put out of his thoughts by Daishinkan's words.
Whis, I want you to send that dimension to the Saiyans, Goku, Vegeta, Broly, and Gohan. They will be in charge of ending this manipulated Zeno-sama.
Father, I understand that those Saiyans are the most powerful, but I really doubt that they're able to get out of that dimension, since only you, an angel-ranked Celestial Emperor, was able to get out. And despite that, you suffered great damage.
That's right, I suffered great damage, but I was able to get all this amazing power. Whis, I trust you, and I know you will. I say goodbye, and when you finish, I want you to erase your memory and that of each angel, so that you're not affected by this new regime.
Whis quickly, with his maximum speed, would leave towards the planet Earth, quickly taking Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan without warning them absolutely anything. And at a great speed, he headed to the planet where Broly was.
Whis, what's the matter? I don't know why, but I see you're terrified. Are these due to the tremors that were felt in the 12 universes?
There's no time, but you will be sent to a dimension very similar to that of the Time Room, but with extreme measures, because otherwise we'll all die. Whis, please explain what's happening. But through the space of Universe 7, the great battle would be present. That's right, the battle had expanded to each of the 12 universes. Daishinkan had received a great blow by the Guardians falling to the side of the planet where they were. Wow, but if it's Daishinkan-sama, I can't believe he was sent to that planet with that power. Who's his opponent? But at the top of the entire planet, it was impossible to receive both Guardians, which on this occasion were charging a powerful combined attack to be able to end the life of Daishinkan.
Whis, make it quick. I won't take long. Saiyans, I trust that you'll be able to take revenge on us.
In short words, the King of the All has been manipulated by the negative entity, and he will wipe out the entire divine world. My father and I trust in his unlimited power, so we will sacrifice for you. A powerful attack would be observed all over the place while it was speeding towards them, so Whis would quickly use his staff, creating a large staff all over his place, and being able to send the 4 warriors that dimension. Meanwhile, Daishinkan, with the last reserves of energy, was able to teleport Whis to safety.
I would die, but I'm sure of the potential of those warriors, so their reign will not last long.
The powerful attack would create a great explosion, with which on this occasion, it would be completely disintegrated. That's right, one of the most powerful beings had fallen before the command of the new King of All. Whis, when he arrived at that place, would respect the last will of his father, so a great mental power would be spread by all the angels and gods. Brain destruction! Whis' powerful mental attack was able to erase the memory of each of the angels and gods in the last 24 hours. Just like Whis, he would use the same technique on himself. Meanwhile, both Guardians would return to the Kingdom of Everything, while Zeno-sama would have a big smile on his face. Ha 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 ha! The damn Daishinkan has finally fallen, but I still want him from Guardian. But he will be the new Guardian of Destruction. Zeno-sama would again use his great shadow technique, from which Daishinkan would resurface, but the essence that emanated was much more evil than that of the Guardians.
My mighty king, I thank you for giving me one more chance. This time I will do what you ask. We will finish with all these insects.
I like much of the personality you have now, but it's not time to finish with these miserable. First, I want to finish with the Saiyan of Universe 7.
Understood. On this occasion, I will finish with those damned. But I will give the order to each of the gods and angels to look for them.
Daishinkan would inform the request of the great Zeno-sama, so the gods and angels at the great speed began to search for the Saiyans. But it would be useless. They were no longer able to find them. Meanwhile, in the angelic dimension, the warriors had arrived, but the place, despite looking like the Room of Time, gravity was increased millions of times more. Damn, I'm not able to move, but I can't believe that Zeno-sama's been manipulated. We have to become much more powerful.
Well, I don't still understand what happened, but this time I plan my legendary status to be able to help this great battle.
Damn worm has been able to be manipulated, but it doesn't matter. Because when I get out of this damn place, I'll be able to wipe out all those insects, including Frieza's damned one. Gohan's power was beginning to rise in an amazing way, as he would remember his wife and daughter. The power that Gohan was expelling was an incredible power, so much so that even the trio of warriors were surprised. Instantly, all of Gohan's hair would grow a little, while it would turn a white color. What happened? Gohan, are you feeling alright? Where have you been able to expel all that great power from? Gohan would answer absolutely nothing, but at the moment, he would fall out of combat, which left all the other warriors surprised. No matter what we do, we have to be able to master all this gravity and take down every one of the warriors behind this.
I agree with you, Kakarot. On this occasion, we'll be the resistance of all the 12 universes.
The trio of warriors began to train despite the fact that gravity didn't allow even to move freely. While Gohan was still out of combat, returning to the Kingdom of All, Daishinkan is upset since they weren't able to find the whereabouts of those Saiyans.
Damn, I feel like I've forgotten something very important, but I'm not able to remember. These miserable worms that you can't find. Those garbage.
Daishinkan, have you found the Saiyans from Universe 7?
Unfortunately not, my lord, but all the gods and angels are in search of each of these warriors.
Understood, because they are the only warriors capable of doing something against me.
The entire Divine Kingdom was made a real chaos, because even the Great Priest with his great sensory power was not able to locate the Saiyans of Universe 7. However, this was the plan of the original Daishinkan from the beginning.
If that damn imposter is able to manipulate me in the same way, I don't have to let the Saiyans be discovered, and I'm sure he won't be able to search the angelic dimension.
That's right, the Daishinkan's plan had turned out to be a complete success, because no being had given himself the time to search in the angelic dimension. Instantly, Zeno-sama would leave his great palace, releasing an amazing power with which he would instantly create several disasters in the 12 universes, because he was not able to control his fury. Daishinkan, I don't think they'll be able to find a few good-for-nothing mere mortals. This has to be a joke on their part.
I ask for an apology, my lord, but we really haven't been able to find those Saiyans. But right now, I'll send the deities of Universe 7 to planet Earth.
Daishinkan, with a great mental sling, would communicate with the deities of the Universe 7.
I want you to communicate with the warriors of planet Earth, and find any clues that are capable of leading us to the whereabouts of the Saiyans.
As you order, Father, so it shall be. Hey, Whis, don't you think that Daishinkan's acting very strange? Even Zeno-sama's released his power with which he destroyed multiple planets of Universe 12. That's right, Mr. Beerus. I've thought about the same thing, but we don't have any proof that something happened to them, so now we'll just have to look for Mr. Goku and Vegeta, who are the most important. Both deities were about to head to the planet Earth at high speed, so when they arrived, they had headed towards Bulma's house, which had greeted him with a worried look. Mr. Beerus, Mr. Whis, I hope everything's fine. Please, can you explain to me where Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan had been taken? It's been days, and we don't know anything about their whereabouts. Both deities were shocked to absolutely not remember anything that Bulma was telling them. Miss Bulma, can you explain to me what you just said, please? Since Mr. Beerus and I haven't come to planet Earth in several months. You're wrong, Mr. Whis. You guys came about 5 days ago, looking for the Saiyans, and you had a look of panic. Mrs. Bulma, you can allow me to see your memories, please? I'm sorry for the inconvenience in advance. I really don't know what's going on. Bulma would allow Whis to inspect her memories, which left him surprised because, really, he along with Mr. Beerus was in search of the Saiyans. But in this time, it was for something very bad that had happened with the Great Priest. Miss Bulma might ask for an apology, but I don't really know what it was that happened with the Saiyans. But I really don't have a clear answer. But no, don't worry, in that moment, Mr. Beerus, together with me, will investigate. Mr. Beerus, it's time to leave for the center of the universe and the stage of the 12 universes. Actually, what Bulma has said's real. In that case... Whis would interrupt Beerus. That's right, Mr. Beerus. Apparently they have been used a very powerful technique on us angels that we are not able to remember what happened. In that case, we'll have to go find the warrior capable of even erasing the memory of an angel. So let's go immediately, Whis. Both deities would begin to head at a great speed towards the center of the universe, which on this occasion would be taking a long time. Meanwhile, in the angelic dimension, the Saiyan warriors were training with all their enthusiasm. Damn! I'm not able to overcome the power of Ultra Instinct. I'm sure there are scales of power beyond Ultra Instinct. I agree with you, damn insect, but I'm not gonna forgive that damn dwarf. I'm sure they already ended the life of the entire planet Earth.
I doubt it was just the planet Earth. I'm sure that they'd wipe out the entire Universe 7 in case they find us, or not find us, since that miserable dwarf is only looking for total destruction, according to what I've noticed.
I'm sorry for the last time. I haven't been able to access that power again, but I'm not gonna give up, so we have to become much more powerful. In that case, I'll be better to train in duos. I'll train with Vegeta and you train together.
No, Kakarot. Gohan and Broly are not able to control their powers. If they both train together, they'll end up ending their lives. I'll train with Gohan's worm while you train with Broly.
Okay, so let's start with the training to be the first existing warriors to get out of this damn dimension.
The training of all the warriors would begin on the part of Goku and Broly. Both warriors began with a meditation training, in which Broly was able to control the legendary state of Super Saiyan, while Goku tried to break his limits in the Ultra Instinct, as well as his internal energy was able to enlarge his energy veins. We have to be able to have the necessary power to crack this dimension, and I'm sure with Broly's legendary power, it could be combined with the Divine Key. On the other hand, in Vegeta's training, together with Gohan, both warriors on this occasion began to fight, since from Vegeta's perspective, there was no better training than battles that generated wounds to death.
That's nothing. I hope that you use all your power. Think of me as the enemy that you have to end, even if it costs your life.
It's okay, Mr. Vegeta. I want to become very powerful.
Both Saiyans began with their great battle, in which Vegeta had absolutely the advantage. In the battle, however, no matter how powerful Vegeta's blows are, Gohan didn't fall to the ground. Vegeta, while exchanging blows, would say,
"This really is the warrior of a Saiyan race. He doesn't give up so easily. That fills me with pride."
Returning to the center of the universe, the deities had arrived at the stage of 12 universes. However, such beings are of an important subject. They had to inform of their arrival. But being the deities of the 7th universe, they were able to advance without any problem. So they arrived face to face with the powerful sage.
"Oh, so it's a surprise to have the god Beerus of this universe. Tell me, what can I help you with?"
"I want to know if our memory's really been erased in these last 10 days. The wise man would close his eyes, while at the moment hundreds of golden threads were scattered all over the Universe 7.
"Indeed, Mr. Beerus. About 6 days ago, you have lost your memory. I don't know exactly how long, but you have lost it."
In that case, can you inform us with which technique or who the warrior capable of making even I, the most powerful angel capable of losing my memory?
That is a very easy question to answer, since the only warrior to be able to do something like that is yourself, as you are hearing.
Beerus and Whis were shocked, as they were not understanding anything that they were being informed about.
I hope I misunderstood, but you're given to imply that Whis, my own guardian angel, the memory has been deleted to him in my memory.
On that point, you are mistaken, Mr. Beerus. The powerful guardian angel Whis has deleted the memories of the 12 gods and 12 guardian angels.
The wonder of the deities had grown much more. Sorry for so many questions, but this is the last one. You know, what technique do I delete our memories?
Of course, yes. His technique was brain destruction.
At the moment, there's no doubt that is one of my most powerful mental techniques. Mr. Beerus, it's time to leave. Both deities had returned to their planet, so the instant they arrived, they both began to discuss what had happened in the divine entire world. Hey, Whis, if everything that great sage has informed us turns out to be true, what is the danger that threatened all the 12 universes, and because only the Saiyans will be the chosen ones? I really don't know, Mr. Beerus. All this has great mysteries. I don't remember absolutely anything. I could do it if the technique had been executed by one of my brothers, but me being the most powerful angel is impossible. In that case, why don't we inform the High Priest about your memory loss? No, from my point of view, it is a terrible idea, since the essence and the power that emanated my father has completely changed. Returning to the kingdom of the whole, Daishenkin was furious at not being able to find the whereabouts of the Saiyans.
Damn it. I want to destroy all 12 universes to finish with you simple good-for-nothing worms. Because with total destruction, you wouldn't be able to do anything.
Daishenkin, in case you can't find them, I want you to gather the Super Dragon Balls. With Zama's help, investigate their whereabouts.
As you order, great Zeno-sama.
So at the end of the 3 days, Daishenkin would invoke the powerful god Zalma, informing him about what his desire was. But the words of the powerful dragon Zalma left him dumbfounded.
I'm sorry. What you wish you ask me is out of my possibilities. Because of the soul of the Saiyans that you have named me, I can't find it within the 12 universes, nor in the beyond, so make another wish.
My lord, not even the mighty dragon god Zalma knows where those damn Saiyans are located. In that case, what's your wish?
Damn it. Ask him to withdraw, as he's been of no use to us.
But before Daishenkin's able to inform the powerful dragon god Zalma, Zeno-sama's mind became enlightened, so he would change his mind.
No, Daishenkin, wait. I want you to bring to life Itrus, the god of lightning.
Understood, my lord. As you command.
Daishenkin would inform the powerful god Zalma the desire, so the dragon's eyes would light up, and in front of them, a warrior would appear which seemed to be a simple human due to his physical.
My lord, with the respect you deserve, but this warrior seems to be a simple trash. He doesn't exude any great power and doesn't possess an inevitable physique.
But Daishenkin would be thrown all over the place with thousands of wounds all over his body. But without finishing his attack, the warrior had been able to grant millions of cuts in a matter of seconds. So with great power, he would make Daishenkin fall to a planet, expelling large amounts of blood from his entire body. Thanks for bringing me back to life, great Zeno-sama. Although it's a surprise for me, because even your father gave his life to end my life.
Ha ha! Oh, those were past times. Right now, that doesn't interest me. But I know that you are the perfect warrior to command with me in this new empire of darkness.
I don't know what you mean, but let me teach your protective angel a few manners, since I'm not going to overlook that disrespect. Without Zeno-sama being able to say anything, Itrus, at a great speed, would begin to grant him hundreds of blows, which Daishenkin wasn't able to do anything. And although the negative energy made him much more powerful, he was not able to defend himself nor grant him a single blow. And tell me, you think I'm weak now? Itrus, with a single blow to the entire stomach, was able to knock Daishenkin to the ground out of combat. Itrus would begin to carry a powerful energy sphere in his hand, but the instant he was about to throw it, Zeno-sama would hold Itrus' hand tightly, destroying several of his bones.
No, I won't let you end my angel's life, so you better calm down, if you don't want me to send you to the other world again.
Do you think you have the necessary power to be able to end my life? If even your father, the original king of all, had to sacrifice himself, what would you be able to do, dwarf good for nothing? Zeno-sama, without saying a single word, had agreed to a combat form which he had never shown before. So as if it were a flash, he had made Itrus fall to the ground hard, without him being able to do anything, and with a few blows had left him on the verge of death.
Of that and more I'm capable, so it'd be better to leave the kingdom of the all.
Returning to the angelic dimension, the training of the Saiyans had no rest, as each of them wanted their revenge as soon as possible. In the entire angelic dimension, the Saiyans would continue with their rigorous training. However, Broly's power, along with Goku's power, was the one that increased the most. But unlike Goku's power, Broly was not able to control it. That's right, while Goku was able to control his power in its entirety. Broly, you better get a grip since I don't want to knock you out again. However, Broly would instantly expel all of his legendary power.
Damn, I want to get out of this damn place.
Broly, with all his power, and while his anger overflowed, he began to exchange blows with Goku all over the place. However, Goku, as if he were dancing ballet, he was able to dodge each one of his blows with incredible precision. And without intending to waste time in an unnecessary battle, with an accurate blow to Broly's head, he was able to knock him out of combat. So at the moment, Goku would return to his base state, starting to meditate again.
The power that Kakarot insects increased is an amazing way, but I can't believe even how his character has changed. He already is much more serious.
I agree with you, Mr. Vegeta. That has surprised even me. But this is not the time to be surprised. We have to exceed our limits.
That's right, Gohan. So I want you to accept that transformation and fight against me, because if you've been able to achieve that transformation, I can also do it.
Gohan, by training the Beast Mode for a few months, was able to access it at will, but the energy drain was amazing. While on Vegeta's part, he had only been able to increase his power without getting any power-up transformations.
No matter how much I raise my power, I need an empowering transformation, which allows me to withstand much more energy load.
Gohan was instantly able to access his Beast Mode, but the power he released completely overshadowed the power of the Prince of the Saiyans, who, without any fair, had launched himself against Gohan. Both warriors began to exchange thousands of blows all over the place. That's right, but the blows by Vegeta were not able to do any harm to Gohan, while each blow of Gohan was able to cause incredible damage to the Prince of the Saiyans. Gohan, with a powerful kick, was able to send Vegeta to a part of the dimension, causing a huge explosion all over the place.
Oh, I'm sorry, apparently I've overdone it.
Gohan would return to his base state with the intention of helping Vegeta, but when he observed a Vegeta with his cold countenance, he was a little surprised, because Vegeta, despite being in his base state, the power that began to emanate from his body was a real madness. That's right, Vegeta's body was feeling in a desperate situation, was able to access a new state. That state would leave everyone present surprised due to the power that began to release. That power that's releasing Vegeta's body is not normal, so he's able to access a new transformation. An incredible aura would rise through the dimension, in which he was able to cause hundreds of disasters all over the place. And from a great expulsion of all his power, he was able to access the Ultra Ego, a state never before seen by any of the warriors present.
What kind of transformation's this? Although I'm not interested, I want to know that the power that I possess is amazing. Gohan, you better transform because I want to use my power to the maximum.
Gohan was able again to access his Beast Mode, so at the moment both warriors began to exchange millions of blows all over the place, while Goku watched the battle very carefully.
Vegeta's power in that transformation's increased in an incredible way.
The battle of both warriors would look very even, but when Vegeta was able to get a power similar to Gohan's, he would begin to take the advantage, because his experience on the battlefield was much greater than Gohan's. So Vegeta would instantly return the blow that Gohan had given him a few moments ago, so Gohan would fall to the ground heavily, creating great chaos all over the place.
With this power, I'm sure I can beat Kakarot's useless one. So get ready, Kakarot.
You better not neglect your defense, since Gohan hasn't been defeated yet.
But Goku was surprised to realize how Gohan, despite going through Vegeta's blind spot, was not able to give him the blow he had intended, since Vegeta with one hand was able to stop him. Although with their fists collided, they created a big explosion all over the place.
Gohan, you're no longer a match for me, but at this moment I'll defeat you, since I know the humiliation that a warrior goes through when he has pity on him.
So Vegeta, moving at an incredible speed, was able to grant him a punch in the stomach, but the power of that punch was so much that it was able to knock Gohan out of combat with a single blow.
Wow, you amaze me, Vegeta! You've been able to get an amazing power!
I want to fight with you, Kakarot. I want to show you that I'm no longer behind you. I'm capable of facing you with my maximum power.
We'd better leave it for the next one. I don't want to take advantage of the fact that you've recently achieved that transformation. Better control the energy drain, and then we have our battle.
But Vegeta, without making chaos, to Goku's warnings, he had launched himself against him. But Goku, possessing the Ultra Instinct mastered 100%, was able to dodge every one of his punches. So he would turn around with a big smile. Heh, apparently you want to be defeated by me again. In that case, I'll give you the pleasure that you fight with my maximum power.
That's what I've been longing to hear. Get ready, insect.
Both rivals got into a battle pose, so without wasting any time, they threw themselves against each other. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the Whole, after about 1 week had passed, Itris, together with Daishinkan, were able to wake up.
Ugh, what happened? We were bringing a powerful ally to life. How did we get up?
Damn it, I don't know how your fucking dwarf possesses so much power. Are you perhaps more powerful than the king of the original everything?
First of all, I want you to address me with respect, or I'll be forced to teach you to respect me. And secondly, of course I'm more powerful than my father.
Itris, without believing Zeno-sama's statement, would try to throw himself against him again, but Zeno-sama mercilessly was able to release all his pressure focused simply on Itris, so every one of his bones turned to dust, and he even started choking on his own blood due to the incredible damage he was receiving.
Do you not want me to keep releasing my pressure, or have you already understood that you're not able to do anything against me?
I'm sorry, Big Zeno-sama. I promise I won't disrespect you again. Zeno-sama would immediately stop releasing all his pressure, but Itris had been again left in pathetic conditions, since he wasn't able to move a single one of his fingers, as all his bones were completely destroyed.
Daishinkan, take him to the recovery room so that while each of his limbs heals, his power grows a little more.
As you order, my lord.
Daishinkan would take the body of Itris, leaving for the recovery room. Meanwhile, in Universe 7, both deities were still very thoughtful about what happened in the universe. In that case, I'm sure this whole problem belongs to the higher-ups, since one way or another there will be no way for me to make such a decision.
I was thinking the same thing too, Whis. Since only Daishinkan and Zeno-sama would be able to notice something, and they don't want us to know anything.
That's right, Mr. Beerus, but these days, the power and essence of Zeno-sama and Daishinkan-sama has completely changed to the essence of incredible evil.
We have to do something. And really, we should be able to contact Goku and the other Saiyans.
That's what I've tried, Mr. Beerus, but I find it impossible. I've tried every possible method to be able to contact them, but I'm not able to achieve.
In that case, the only thing we could do is to follow the orders, since we're not able to do anything against the high commands of the Divine Kingdom.
Returning to the angelic dimension, both Saiyans, although they seemed very equal, Goku did not seem tired in the slightest, unlike Vegeta, who in every exchange of blows could be observed much more fatigued.
Damn it. How is it possible that you're able to cope with me? I'm the Prince of the Saiyans, and I've gained this new power.
Indeed, the power you've achieved is amazing, but you're forgetting something very important. No matter how much power you get, you have to learn it to master it completely.
Vegeta angrily threw himself against Goku once again, but this time Goku would take a very strange pose, so hundreds of energy swords would be fired at Vegeta's body. But some of the swords were completely destroyed due to Vegeta's destructive aura, which left Goku surprised. But since there were hundreds of energy swords, Vegeta would fall to the ground completely defeated.
You have great power, but it's time for you to rest. We have to finish with that bastard who was able to manipulate Zeno-sama.
Goku, on the other hand, had also been able to obtain a Zenkai, after several months having such a demanding battle against the Prince of the Saiyans.
That battle has helped me understand my power much more. Although I am more powerful, I haven't been able to access any transformation.
Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the Whole, Zeno-sama would be able to speak with Daishinkan, so Daishinkan, at the end of leaving Itris in the recovery room, would come with his king.
Tell me, my lord, how can I help you?
You still know nothing about those damn Saiyans. I don't understand how they were able to disappear.
I agree with you, my lord, as I even put every angel and god in search of those Saiyans, and no one's able to have at least a clue as their whereabouts.
Something very bad is about to happen, and I'm sure of this.
Since that conversation had already been about 4 months, in which the gods of destruction had forgotten about the matter of the Saiyans, with the exception of the deities of Universe 7. But in all this time, in the angelic dimension, several years had also passed, and with that help of the gravity, the increase in power they had achieved was unparalleled. But among all the warriors, in the same way, Goku would still be in the most powerful, since among all of them, a silver-haired fur could be observed all over the place. So it is while Goku's power was rising to a maximum level.
The power that Kakarot's achieved is incredible. We'll finally be able to avenge. We don't know who's behind all this, but we'll come to the end of this matter.
We have to be able to control my legendary status and even master the power beyond a god. But I want to annihilate the cause of all this.
I just hope nothing happened to my family. And finally, after several years, we'll be able to get out of this damn place.
Goku, with the power of the Celestial Super Saiyan, the name he had called his transformation, would begin to crack the entire dimension. So with a big smile, and a powerful Ozaru could be seen all over the place, while a gigantic beast claw was able to destroy the entire angelic dimension. So the instant he left that place, 4 incredible powers were felt by each of the 12 universes, which had caught the attention of every divine being in the entire multiverse.
So, this is what I was afraid of. After several months, those damn Saiyans have come forward. Apparently they have incredible power.
The power of those bastards are capable of possessing is amazing, but they won't be able to beat us.
Finally, after so many millions of years, apparently I'll have some fun. The entire Divine Kingdom would begin to approach where such power was being released, while various gods and angels would come with little fear due to all the pressure emanating in the universes. The incredible power of Goku and his new transformation had been so great as to destroy the dimension to which they had been sent. All the beings of divine energy at an incredible speed headed towards where these incredible powers were released, because this time they had even caught the attention of the powerful god Idris.
Finally! Today I'll finish with those dirty mortals. I don't know where the hell they'd gotten, but I plan to destroy them completely.
The entire Divine Kingdom had arrived in the presence of the 4 Saiyans, which on this occasion all released in an overwhelming power. But at the moment of arriving, the deities of Universe 7 were surprised to realize all the incredible power that emanated.
Hey, Whis, what happened to them? How have you been able to possess this incredible power?
I have not the slightest idea, Mr. Beerus, but there is only one thing for sure, and that is that we know finally what happened during this time. At the moment, an incredible aura would rise through all the 12 universes. That's right, it was the aura of the powerful Saiyan Goku, who was beginning to release an overwhelming power while approaching the entire Divine Kingdom. Damn! How are you able to control the mighty Zeno-sama? Although I don't care who the hell you are, because today will end your existence. All the beings of divine energy, with the exception of Daishinken, were surprised to hear such an incredible revelation, even Idris.
So, in all of this time, I've been manipulated by a useless, who's not even the stupid king at all. I myself will end your pathetic existence.
Idris rushed against Zeno-sama, but to his surprise, Zeno-sama, without moving any of his fingers, was able to make him fall to the ground, because he had released an incredible pressure, which at the moment of being about to reach the gods and angels, Broly, with his unlimited power, would create a powerful energy barrier, in which being inside even the great pressure of Zeno-sama was not able to do anything.
You better stay inside that energy barrier, because if you come out, you'll be affected by all that pressure from that damn dwarf.
I warned you, Idris. Once again, you have lack of respect for me. I'll annihilate you.
Zeno-sama would raise both hands, with which, at the moment, as if were a simple worm, he was able to end the life of Idris, one of the most powerful beings of all time.
Well, it's time to finish with you, because thanks to you good-for-nothing Saiyans, I've lost one of my most powerful men.
It'll be useless for you to have an army when today you die.
But Zeno-sama, despite not having access to his combat form, at an impressive speed he'd been able to hold Vegeta by the neck, being able to cause a great disaster, because he had used Vegeta's body to cause everything that happened. Vegeta, when trying to defend himself, Zeno-sama was able to neutralize him completely, and with a great kick had sent him to a planet, creating an incredible destruction.
We can't let that damn dwarf end Mr. Vegeta's life!
Gohan at the moment had launched himself against Zeno-sama, so followed, Broly would also pounce against him, while Goku was watching each of the attacks in defense. That's right, Goku was starting to analyze Zeno-sama's combat form.
The warrior that's been able to manipulate him must be an extremely powerful subject, because his way of fighting is the way of an experienced warrior. A warrior who's gone through thousands of battles.
However, at the time of being 3 against 1, they began to have a little advantage. But Zeno-sama was not far behind because despite being few blows, the attacks that he was able to connect to the warriors were of a power, with which he would destroy 2 universes. But the resistance of their bodies had grown in an amazing way. But at the moment, Zeno-sama in each of his hands had created 2 spheres of energy, which gave off an incredible power. The condensed power had been an outrage. At the moment, a great explosion would be created all over the place.
He had been stupid. He wouldn't be able to control all that power, and for that reason he'd been destroyed by his own energy.
But from all that explosion, the silhouette of an imposing warrior was beginning to be observed, very distant to the appearance of Zeno-sama, since Zeno-sama had access to his combat form, with which his appearance as well as his power changed drastically.
It's amazing that mere mortals like you have been able to force me to use my combat form.
Meanwhile, Daishinka would start attacking the barrier that Broly had left to protect all the other angels and gods. I knew that my father had been manipulated by a damn imposter in the same way, but in the same way, his power is still incredible. Goku would notice how Broly's barrier, the more the minutes pass, the more it cracks. That's right, it was a matter of time for Broly's barrier to be completely destroyed. Broly, take care of the High Priest. I want you to end his life, since I'm sure he wouldn't have liked to be manipulated like that. When all this is over, we'll be able to use the Super Dragon Balls.
I understand. Just don't go trusting each other, since that damn dwarf's power has grown in an incredible way.
Broly would move quickly to be able to prevent Daishinkan from being able to destroy his barrier. So when he arrived, he was able to connect a powerful blow to Daishinkan's face, which had sent him flying to a planet, completely destroying it because the power condensed in Broly's fist was a real madness.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'll have to end Daishinkan's life, since he's been manipulated by the same entity that controls Zeno-sama. For that reason, we'll end with both until we find the solution, which would be to bring them to life with the Super Dragon Balls.
I understand. In that case, of course we support it, since for some time we have observed the top brass acting in very strange ways. But without being able to continue with their conversation, Daishinkan rushed against Broly, which instantly both began to exchange thousands of blows throughout that universe. However, although Broly was the legendary Super Saiyan and his power was unlimited, he was maintaining a very even battle with the Great Priest, because the negative energy was able to make him much more powerful the more the battle went on. So the moment Daishinkan was able to return the blow that Broly had given him, for what that moment, Broly would be sent flying to a few mountains, created a big chaos all over the place.
You have incredible power, but you're still a simple dirty mortal. You'll never be able to share with us the beings of pure divine energy.
Broly would recover from that powerful blow, and at the moment, without wasting time, he would expel all his power, destroying everything in his path.
I have to use everything I have against Daishinkan, since he is considered one of the most powerful warriors of the 12 universes for nothing.
The battle of both would resume. On the other hand, the battle of the 3 Saiyans, surprising as it may seem, they began to have a great disadvantage. That's right, the power of Zeno-sama was a complete madness, which even the 3 Saiyans were not able to match. Only Goku was able to get a little closer to his overwhelming power, but the damage that Zeno-sama caused them was incredible damage. At the moment, Zeno-sama would increase his speed much more, so he was able to cause them great damage, making the trio of warriors fall to the ground very badly injured and on the verge of death. God damn it! Despite having trained for thousands of years in that damn room, we're not able to do anything against that bastard!
Kakarot, we still have one last method. We'll use fusion and create the most powerful warrior of all the 12 universes have ever seen.
It doesn't matter that I die. I'll grant them the necessary time so that they'll be able to perform the fusion. Gohan had pounced against Zeno-sama. However, Zeno-sama not having knowledge of his plan, he would begin to torture Gohan in thousands of different ways. Even Gohan had returned to his base state due to all the damage he had generated. But the instant he was about to deliver the final blow that would end Gohan's life, an incredible power as well as pressure would be felt all over the place. That's right, the powerful Gogeta, Ultra Instinct, had been able to appear on the battlefield, being able to stop Zeno-sama at the last second.
I don't care who you are. I'll be the one in charge of finishing you. I'm known as the Beast Tamer.
Confident, Zeno-sama would watch the warrior because although he was able to release an incredible aura, his true power had not yet been shown to any warrior. Zeno-sama would begin to approach Gogeta, which in the same way he would while a great wave of energy had sent him towards the barrier previously created by Broly, to which the angels began to heal each of his wounds. Returning with the warriors, both began to exchange thousands of blows at impressive speeds. So much were their speeds that this time the angels were not able to see absolutely anything. They were only able to observe how a warrior had been sent to fly to a planet, destroying it completely. But on the surface, they were able to observe Gogeta. The combined power of Lord Goku and Vegeta is incredible. So much so that they're even able to corner a king completely in their combat form.
Ouch! I felt that blow, but let's see if you're able to follow me and step completely, since next to me you're nothing.
Zeno-sama would release much more power, with which he pounced again. The battle seemed much more even. For his part, in the battle of Broly and Daishinkan was able to corner Broly because every wound that Broly gave him, Daishinkan, with the negative energy, was able to heal completely. So Broly would come up with a plan to leave absolutely nothing of Daishinkan.
You're powerful, but I'm sure I'm much more resistant than you, so I want to see if you're able to withstand an explosion of all my power.
Broly with a great blow was able to send Daishinkan flying. However, at the moment, Daishinkan would lash out in the same way, but Broly with his physical strength was able to hold him completely.
At this moment, you'll receive this big explosion.
Daishinkan, despite releasing all his power, was not able to compare with the physical strength that Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, possessed. So at the moment, Broly would create that big explosion, which would not be observed in anything for several minutes. But in the middle of the explosion, Daishinkan had been turned into simple dust of the universe, while Broly would fall to a nearby planet, creating a big crater, since he had no energy to stay in the air. This warrior is really honorable. He has even been able to almost sacrifice himself for our welfare. Now all that is missing is that dam. The battle of both warriors would remain very even. However, Zeno-sama's power, for a strange reason, would begin to decrease, which both warriors realized. However, Gogeta would not miss the opportunity, starting to use much more power than his body was able to withstand.
No, your body's not able to take much more power, apparently. So I'll end this once and for all.
Gogeta, in one of his hands, was able to create a powerful attack, which was even able to make everything around him shake.
Divine Punisher of Souls.
The attack had successfully reached Zeno-sama, creating a great chaos all around. However, to everyone's surprise, the powerful Zeno-sama was lying on the ground in terrible conditions, while at the top of all the 12 universes, an incredible negative aura was beginning to form.
You bastard. Having planned to control the useless king completely, you are the only one to interfere in my plans. But the time of your death has come.
That great dark energy would begin to take the form of an imposing warrior, which his appearance was extremely incredible, since he was able to bend any warrior who stood in front of him. The imposing warrior, with a quick flash, was able to leave the powerful fusion lying on the ground with hundreds of wounds all over his body. This is amazing! I wasn't able to see anything, but Gogeta was in terrible condition in a matter of seconds. Gogeta would stand up, starting to attack that warrior, but his hands were left shaking with every exchange of blows.
Damn it! My pride has been shattered, but I have to run away!
Gogeta, in one of his hands, was able to create a sphere of energy which did not possess any destructive power. It had only radiated a great light, which Gogeta would take advantage to leave the place at an incredible speed. With all the other warriors, after 30 seconds, Jamura was able to recover the vision.
No matter what you do, or where you hide, I will find you and finish with each one of you!
The powerful warrior Jamura, with a big smile, would begin to create a large sphere of mass density in the palm of his hands, with which the condensed power was amazing. So instantly, without hesitation, he was able to destroy the 12 universes, leaving nothing standing, because this time, he'd been able to resort to a much greater power than normal.
If you are anywhere in the 12 universes at this moment, you must have been turned into simple cosmic dust.
That great explosion was beginning to approach all the warriors, but as if it were a miracle, Zeno-sama in his combat form had prostrated himself before that great explosion, and with a great determination in each of his hands, he would form a tiny spheres, But although his size was insignificant, the power that condensed in each of them was unreal.
Because of my damn fault, that miserable demon has been able to destroy all 12 universes. If necessary, I plan to give my life for those Saiyans to survive, because I'm sure they'll be able to defeat them.
At the moment, that big explosion would begin to impact Zeno-sama. However, the King of the Whole in the same way would begin to channel all his power in that attack, being able to repel the attack for a few seconds, but being about to be defeated, all the other angels would begin to transmit all their power so that Zeno-sama would not be defeated so easily. Great Zeno-sama, we know that you're not the one behind all this, since the cause has been made, that miserable one, but don't worry, because this time you have our support. Zeno-sama was able to withstand that big explosion, but at the moment, he would still fall to the ground, because the damages he had received were of another level. For his part, Jamura would enter the Kingdom of the Whole.
This is what I really needed. Since I'm not in this damn place to take orders, but I have to start creating my army.
Jamura, with some strange poses, was able to summon a portal, from which hundreds of warriors began to come out of all the Kingdom of the All. But among them, the one who stood out the most was an imposing warrior who was very similar to Frieza's race, but the power he was able to give off was amazing.
It will be a pleasure to be under your orders, my lord. And don't forget that you can order us anything, and we will comply with it without any objection.
I like that. But for now, I want all of you to take care of protecting the barriers of this multiverse, since this will be the multiverse of ruin.
As you order, my lord. In that case, I will delegate myself several recruits to the borders of this great multiverse.
Returning to the other warriors, the most affected were the Saiyans, because their bodies were completely shattered. Even with the help of the angels, their bodies were hardly able to accept the energy they were receiving. However, at a specific moment, the Prince of the Saiyans would wake up, expelling all his power in the Ultra Ego. However, when observing Vegeta's eyes, they were completely white, implying that he was unconscious. The damage they have to receive must have been incredible, so that they're not even able to control their own bodies. Seconds later, the Prince of the Saiyans would fall to the ground again. Brother, do you think that the Divine World is capable of emerging victorious from this battle? I don't know, sister, but the only thing I'm sure is that we must protect these Saiyans with our lives, as they are the hope, because that was the thought of our dear father. On the other hand, on the borders of the multiverse of Zeno-sama, several warriors began to enter because of the other kings of the All. Upon witnessing the fall of the king of the All, had decided to claim as their own the territory that was once Zeno-sama's. This multiverse of Zeno-sama will be mine, and I'll not allow anyone else to be able to approach what belongs to me, the two most powerful warriors of my multiverse. Go put order! We have to be the biggest and most powerful multiverse. That's why we have to get hold of that multiverse. That was the thought of most kings at all, so they had sent their most powerful warriors, finding several of them on the borders of the multiverse. But when they were about to start fighting among them, several of them were surprised to realize how a flash was able to even split several of their enemies in half, as if it were a blade. But not being enough, was able to even split several planets in half that had crossed in their passage. I don't want to fight each other. Since I have thousands of years, I don't have a good fight, and I want to have some fun. The warriors stared at each other while among all, a powerful warrior with several horns on his head would step forward.
Apparently you are a somewhat powerful warrior, but it's a pity that you don't have any allies, unlike us who are an army next to you. For your information, I only have the power of an army, and if you don't believe what I'm telling you, you'd better come and check it out for yourself.
Instantly, several warriors launched themselves against Archon, who, without any difficulty, was able to dodge each of their blows of the warriors, being able to even grant thousands of cuts all over the battlefield, ending with the life of several warriors. That's right, on the part of Archon, he began to create a mountain of dejected warriors. Well, although the other warriors had the numerical advantage, they weren't able to cause an effective damage. Archon, because even when they hit Archon, their fists hurt due to the resistant skin that Archon, with the help of his tail, was able to send the warriors he had nearby to fly to several planets.
That's what you mean you guys had the army of a power. Don't make me laugh. They're just simple ants next to me. Ugh, that hurt me too much. How's it possible that a simple warrior is able to put us in these conditions?
Meanwhile, Archon was watching them from atop of the atmosphere. The other warriors began to lose their fighting instinct, as no matter what technique or attack they used, Archon was always ahead of them.
Don't give up. I'm sure that bastard must be exhausted too, since it's not easy at all to face warriors more powerful than the priests themselves.
Archon, a little irritated by the presence of that warrior, had moved at a speed that, on this occasion, no one was able to observe.
You've got me tired with your damn words, so you die easy. Don't use even 25% of all my power. Now die!
Archon, with a great attack of energy, would be released all over the place, wiping out most of the warriors. Was able to end the battle since all of the warriors, only one of them managed to escape into his multiverse.
I want you to reach your destination, as I have a surprise for you, and the curse of your king who wants to conquer the multiverse of the mighty Jamura.
Archon was able to feel the perception of his energy, since inside that warrior had injected a lot of negative energy. So when he arrived, his king of all, he would leave the palace when he realized how his most powerful warrior spat too much blood all over the place.
I can't believe what I'm witnessing. How was it Zeno-sama who did this to you?
Without him being able to respond, his whole body was starting to inflate, and at the moment, a huge explosion would be created all over the place. So powerful had that explosion been, that even on this occasion, the blood of the entire warrior would fall like rain, while a monster would be created on the top.
So you're the damn worm that wanted to take over our multiverse. For all your information, that multiverse is under our control, and I'll give you a little taste of what'll happen to you if you mess with us again.
The incredible monster, despite his enormous size, was able to grant thousands of blows all over the warrior's body. To the size being enormous, the damage it had caused to the king at all was of another level. The Archon technique would fade, meanwhile, during which the Saiyan warriors, the angels, had chosen to enter a dimension in which time passes in a much faster way. In order to be able to the warriors recover in the shortest possible time, to spend in that room 3 years, the warriors had woken up. Well, it had only been 2 days outside, however, the warriors woke up not 100%, as several of their energy veins were not able to assimilate such incredible power that the new warrior had shown.
Ah, my body hurts completely. Where are we?
Well, I don't know, you damn insect, but we must look for a solution, so we're able to defeat that damn monster.
I agree with you, Mr. Vegeta, and we have the right plan for you to be able to achieve it. Both Saiyans who had been able to first wake up were realized how the angels and gods had returned to normal.
Goku, I know it's not time, but I'm proud of the power you've been able to get. Just like you, Vegeta, you're really the protectors of the 12 universes. No, Mr. Beerus, we were defeated by that damn garbage, and we could do absolutely nothing against it.
There is one last possibility, and it is the power beyond the King of the All, the power beyond the divine. It is known as the state of an Omnigod.
Omnigod? What state are you referring to, Whis? Please explain to us.
The state of the Omnigod is able to channel all the power and vital energy. Even if he left them for 5 years without being able to fight, the power he can give them is of another level. It is said that there has been no warrior who's able to survive after fighting with warriors who reach that state.
Stop fighting for 5 years. Of course I could do it in order to finish with that bastard who finished with my whole family.
In that case, it's decided. Would be the new warriors to take over the power beyond the King of All.
Well, in that case, since Daishinkan-sama was not present, we, the 12 angels and gods, will use our power to be able to perform the ritual, as well as grant them such a state. All the gods and angels began to surround Goku and Vegeta, while a strange feeling was felt by the Saiyan warriors. But instantly, both warriors fell to the ground due to all the incredible power and essence that is entering their bodies.
Bear with me. It's not long, very little.
Both Saiyans were immediately knocked out of combat, so after a few hours, they would both wake up, but even their powers in sleep mode, it was incredible. It's time for you to be able to access a new level. Expel all your power. Goku and Vegeta expelled the maximum of their powers, with which the power they were able to release was amazing. While various marks on their body would become present, as well as the entire dimension they had reached, would be completely destroyed, being able to feel such abominable power by all existing multiverses.
What? Whose powers are these? They're gigantic powers.
Jamura, along with Archon and several of his warriors, began to head towards the place, while Whis had confirmed him that they were only able to stay in such a state for 1 hour, since the cannon's power was supreme.
So 1 hour, but 5 minutes will be enough for us. I hope you're ready, Vegeta.
So you thought the same as me. The one who has to beat him back is the mighty Gogeta.
Both Saiyans would quickly make the fusion, which left Whis surprised, since the time would be shortened in an incredible way. But the moment of such warrior appearing in intimidating presence was able to be felt all over the place. Gogeta, Super Saiyan Omni, was able to observe how in the distance several warriors were approaching. Gogeta, as if were a flash, were able to arrive in a few seconds in front of all the warriors, and with a very powerful blow was able to send Jamura flying to the surface of a planet, destroying it completely.
Damn you, worm! You'll die! Palms of death!
That monster would appear again, but the moment he would execute one of his most powerful techniques, however, to everyone's surprise, Gogeta was able to dodge each and every one of his blows.
You're not the right opponent for me. Besides, I don't have time. I just have to finish with the damn Jamura.
Archon, with a small attack in one of his hands, was able to pulverize him completely, because the attack, being a few centimeters from colliding with Archon, would increase his size to the bearing of a sun. That's right, Archon, the most powerful warrior of the elite Jamura, had been eliminated as a simple insect, while Gogeta, without waiting for Jamura to recover, rushed against him, starting to grant him a shower of blows all over his body, leaving him in terrible conditions.
I'll not beg for my life, but you're an admirable warrior. I didn't think that you'd be able to manage to hurt me so much, to the point of being able to leave almost on the verge of death.
As I told you, I'm the Beast Tamer. I hope you'll be reborn as a good guy. But now die!
Gogeta would throw his most powerful attack against Jamura, with which so much power there had been absolutely nothing left of it. While at the same instant the fusion would end, Goku and Vegeta would fall to the ground out of combat, Gohan and Broly would hold them, while the angels with all their divine power were able to get everything back to normal. While they are the Super Dragon Balls, they managed to bring Daishenkin back to life in the same way.
Whis, I told you, those Saiyans will be the saviors of this multiverse.
That's right, Father. I'm sorry for mistrusting you. So all the warriors left their respective planets, while the Saiyans would be served a banquet the instant they arrived, while the 5 years would pass for both Saiyans to fully recover. 70 million years ago, there was an unimaginable void without any life, when suddenly emerged a being which didn't know it was himself where he was.
What's going on? What am I? I can't see anything. What is this immense void?
What he didn't know was, until that moment, was that he was an omnipotent being who was going to create everything known as the universe. He would even create a whole multiverse full of different types of life in order to find at some point an individual who could match or surpass the strength of his son called Zeno-sama. In Zeno-sama's palace, 30 million years after the birth of Zeno-sama's father, he introduces himself to his son.
Zeno-sama, my son, you've grown strong and apparently you've become very powerful over the centuries.
Father, I've always felt that my existence has no purpose. I often get bored. Why did you bring me to life to be bored?
70 million years ago, there was a void from which I was created. As I grew, I developed powers and immeasurable strength. As a result of that, a need was born in me to find a being who could match or surpass your strength, to even equal my own greatness. That's why I created planets, galaxies, universes, and living beings of various species.
All this was created just so that I could exist?
Yes, my son. Every star, every life form, everything has a purpose. To prepare you to be the supreme god of all that I've created. You're the main reason for all my creation.
It's a heavy burden, Father. Why me?
Because in you, I see the true potential to rule in this vast cosmos. You are the hope to maintain harmony among the creations that have sprung from my being. You are the missing piece in this cosmic chest.
Father, all this that you tell me is an enormous responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be able to do it. What if I fail?
There is no failure, son. Your very existence is success. Every moment in your life has molded you into the supreme being that you are. I trust you will fulfill your destiny.
What about you, Father? What role do you play in all this?
My role is to guide you from the shadows, to watch you fulfill your purpose. Finding balance in the universe is a task that requires your leadership. I'll be here, in the darkness, watching you carry out the mission I have given you.
I understand, Father. Leave everything in my hands.
Thus passed centuries, millennia, in which Zeno-sama was guided by his father to govern the immense multiverse he had created for him, but now convinced of the purpose he had in his life. In the present time, 30 million years after the conversation that Zeno-sama and his father had, in one of the universes created by Father Zeno, on a planet called Earth, Kakarot and Vegeta were training together with Whis and Beerus after having faced very powerful beings. While they were training, the Earth was illuminated by flashes of energy. As Kakarot and Vegeta embark on intense training, Whis and Beerus watch from a distance, assessing the Saiyans' every move as they prepare to rise in their skills.
Hey, Vegeta! Remember when we first faced Frieza? That guy was incredibly strong.
Yes, Kakarot, it was our first encounter with an enemy of another level, but we cannot forget the Cell Bug, that creature with cells from all of us. He put us in big trouble with his martial arts tournament. Luckily, your son became strong.
Both Saiyans exchanged energy blasts. Each hit and dodge was an echo of their long history of battles.
Ah, yes! The first time he showed the teleportation technique. That was amazing! Thanks to Gohan, we were able to defeat him.
But then came Majin Buu. That battle was unforgettable. We had to merge to have a chance.
Our fusion was great, but we also learned about redemption and kindness at that time. Buu became good because of you.
As they continue their training, the energy of both Saiyans light up the space. Whis and Beerus watch with interest.
Yes, but don't forget about Beerus, that god of destruction who almost wiped out the Earth with a single sneeze. Although in the end, he turned out to be more of a joker than we thought.
Yes, I remember when I tried to fight him in my Super Saiyan 3 form. I wasn't at his level, but at least I gave him a fight in my Super Saiyan God form, and that was possible thanks to all of you.
That's right, and now we're here, training with Whis and Beerus. We cannot let our guard down, Kakarot. There'll always be bigger challenges.
Exactly! Every fight makes us stronger. Let's keep training and bettering ourselves.
Of course. We're always one step closer to being the strongest warriors in the universe.
The training continues as Kakarot and Vegeta, under the tutelage of Whis and Beerus, strive to reach new levels of power in order to defend the Earth from new and more powerful enemies that may appear with the desire to destroy the planet that welcomed them. While Kakarot and Vegeta were training to overcome their limits, Whis and Beerus encouraged them to keep improving. Very good, Saiyans. Keep it up.
Yes, they're very strong, but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep my interest.
Suddenly, they feel a dark presence and the whole environment begins to become dark, and a dark, powerful presence fills the place.
What's going on, Mr. Whis?
Something's not right. I feel an extremely powerful and dark presence.
That feeling sounds familiar. Who could it be?
The darkness intensifies, and suddenly an opposing figure appears in front of them like a shadowy nebula.
Inhabitants of the multiverse, have you missed me? Hello, dear inhabitants of the multiverse. I've come to observe progress of my creations.
What? Who is this guy?
I don't know, Kakarot, but his presence is overwhelming.
No way.
What?
The figure lingers in a shadowy haze, with the speaker being the father of Zeno-sama, the omnipotent being who created the multiverse. This one appears in all multiverse, where all the warriors were training for future problems.
This guy is the father of Zeno-sama, the creator of everything we know of universes beyond our imagination. I didn't think we'd ever see him.
Sir, your arrival is unexpected. Forgive the insolence, but to what do we owe you presents?
The inclination of Whis and all the angels of different universes is because they have knowledge of who was the father of Zeno-sama. For that reason, they have a great fear and respect for him.
I see you've been busy, warriors. You have faced great obstacles throughout your insignificant lives, but this time has come. Are you strong enough?
We're always up for a good challenge.
Shut up, Kakarot. Don't you feel how powerful he is? How can you say that? Haven't you noticed something missing in the multiverse?
At that moment, Zeno-sama's father set out to tell them the reason for the ambiguous question. Moments before Zeno's father appeared before the whole multiverse, he was very angry because when he woke up from the dream of millions of years, he was surprised that many things had happened that went against the main reason why he created the whole universe. Because of this, he appears before his son Zeno-sama. In the center of the realm of everything, the overwhelming presence of Zeno-sama's father eclipses space. His voice booms like thunder as he directs his fury towards his son Zeno-sama. The latter, visibly nervous, tries to defend himself as the tension between the two intensifies.
Zeno-sama, you failed in your duty as Supreme God. All the warriors of the multiverse have overstepped their bounds and now dare to call themselves gods. Gods? This is unacceptable!
Father, I understand that this is all being misunderstood, but...
There's no excuses, Zeno-sama. Your lack of authority has allowed inferior beings to rise above us. How dare you let them usurp the title of gods?
I'm sorry, Father. I did not intend for things to come to this point.
The anger in Father Zeno's voice increases. His tone becomes more defiant and contemptuous.
Your intention? Your weakness has sullied the name of our divinity. The only god here is me, and no one else should dare to call himself that. No one!
Father, I understand that I'm in your debt, but we can find another way to restore order.
Father Zeno's response is an explosion of contempt and fury.
You do not deserve the title of god at all. Your weakness has tainted my creation. Because of your incompetence, I must restore the balance, even if it means getting rid of you.
What? Father, please don't do it! There's so much I can still learn and improve! I can fix all of this!
Zeno-sama's imploration is lost in Father Zeno's cold determination.
It is already too late, Zeno. Weakness must be eradicated from existence for true power to prevail.
In an instant, Zeno-sama's father unleashes a blast of devastating energy that engulfs Zeno-sama and begins to tear him to shreds as he screams in pain.
No, Father, please! Ah!
Order has been restored. No one else will dare to challenge my supremacy. I will now take it upon myself to reestablish balance through my creation.
In the present day, in front of the terrified warriors, due to what Zeno-sama's father had informed them what had happened to his son Zeno-sama, a being they all adored and feared.
You insignificant beings now understand. Because of this, I will destroy all the timelines and universes that exist. I am a divine being, omnipotent, and I can do it. But I will give you a chance to fight for your lives. So I'll organize a tournament in which the strongest warriors of the entire multiverse will participate so that the power will prevail.
Earth 2024.
What?
This can't be true.
Do you think we can face something like that, Mr. Piccolo?
Oh? We'll have to train a lot physically and, above all, mentally.
The idea of a tournament piques his interest, seeing the opportunity to test his own power and perhaps become even stronger. Thraxus Nocturne. Planet sunk in the shadows.
A tournament, eh? Well, I'll show that true power is not limited to divine beings.
I won't let them destroy our future. I will fight in that tournament and protect my own.
A tournament with the strongest warriors, huh? It'll be my chance to show that the Saiyans are not insignificant beings. We will see who is truly divine in this tournament. My empire will prevail.
A competition between the strongest. Interesting. I was showed that the Metacoolers are superior in all universes.
Nigerian, a world with perpetually cloudy skies where storms of dark energy lash the surface.
Father, this tournament will be the perfect occasion to show you that my power surpasses yours. Perfect. I'll show my true power and wreak havoc in every corner of the multiverse. Destruction in a tournament. What a magnificent combination. I will be the ultimate warrior and subdue all under my rule. Let's fight. This tournament will be my stage to demonstrate the power I've obtained.
Dracoria, homeworld of the humanoid dragon warriors and the descendants.
The threat of destruction is overwhelming. My fire may not be enough to face its dark omnipotence.
A shadow that threatens to destroy everything. My ability to manipulate the darkness may not be enough. Even with my swordsmanship, facing an omnipotent divine being will be an unparalleled challenge. This divine being has the power to destroy everything I love. My fire will be my defense.
A divine threat. My control over thunderstorms will be enough. This will be a challenge like never before.
After seeing the various emotions and thoughts of the main participants of the tournament, Zeno-sama's father begins to explain the rules of this supposed tournament.
Minimal beings. The rules are simple. The tournament will be to the death. It'll be held in a timeless space where the laws of time and physics are temporarily suspended. The only way to eliminate an opponent is to make his heart stop. It is by killing him. There's no other way. In this tournament, it is either you or your rival. There's no limits on the use of skills. You must unleash your full potential without restriction, so as not to be destroyed in the process. I'll be the one who will watch over the whole process. The participant who wins will have the joy of facing me, putting his life and the life of his universe at stake. But I'm a PS deity, and I will bring him the opportunity to have a divine power similar to mine for a determined time. If he does not take the advantage of it, he will have to accept the consequences.
In spite of the uncertainty that the warriors have in front of what the father of Zeno-sama has said, some are excited and others are worried.
Wow, this sounds exciting! A tournament with fighters from all universes. It's gonna be great!
Why should we trust this tournament to be fair? By killing them?
So I can fight to the best of my ability. But killing beings that are just fighting for their lives is not nice.
I hope everything I've said has been clear to everyone. The only rule is that you have to kill your opponent so that they don't kill you. I want to make that clear. You will have to kill your opponent. The way we will check if you're worthy of calling yourselves gods.
Father Zeno disappears and everything returns to normal. You can see Kakarot's excited about the new enemy that is seen. It is very powerful. Vegeta, scared and worried about his family, angry with Kakarot.
Wow, that guy's incredibly strong. I'm excited to fight him in the next tournament.
Excited? Do you realize what's at stake, Kakarot? The enemy is dangerous, and we can't just underestimate him.
But Vegeta, that guy has awesome power. It's gonna be the best fight of our lives.
This is not a game, Kakarot. Do you realize that we're putting our families and the entire universe at risk?
I know it's serious, Vegeta, but it's also a chance to get better. Besides, Zeno-sama's father is excited about this.
I can't believe you're so carefree. My family's in danger and you're excited about a fight.
I'm not saying I'm not serious, Vegeta, but when an opportunity presents itself to measure our power, I can't resist.
You always think about the fight, don't you? Sometimes I wish you had a little more responsibility.
Vegeta, I understand that you're worried about Bulma and Trunks, but trust that we can protect them.
I don't like the idea of someone else deciding about our lives.
I understand, Vegeta, but do you really think we can ignore this opportunity?
I'm not going to lose my family over a fight, but I also know that I can't stop you from getting excited about the battle.
At that moment, the tension between Kakarot and Vegeta is palpable as they prepare to face the new enemy. While Kakarot is filled with excitement for the fight, Vegeta faces the situation with a mixture of fear and determination. Thus, the training of the entire multiverse for the survival of their species began. From the moment on, the most powerful warriors of all the universes began to train with greater intensity in order to save their universes and timelines. After having communicated with the entire multiverse from the realm of everything, the father of Zeno-sama would observe everything from a crystal screen, that the warriors were getting stronger and stronger. He sent his shadow warriors to slow down the process of them.
But what is this feeling that stirs my supreme being? A mixture of fascination and disdain. It's inevitable that mortals yearn for more, that they aspire to surpass their boundaries. Yet some of these warriors are reaching levels I cannot allow. Their power threatens the balance I've established. It's enough that they're mere participants in my tournament. They must be contained. They must be eliminated before their ascensions endanger the stability of my creation. My shadow warriors, creatures of the shadow and executioners of my will will travel throughout all the universes. They'll be my instruments to stop these reckless advances. I will not allow the power of these warriors to grow beyond the limits set by my divinity.
Father Zeno, we're here to receive your orders.
Shadow creatures, my loyal enforcers, the time has come. The universes pulsate with an energy that threatens to destabilize the order I've established. Mortal warriors, in their relentless pursuit of power, are rising to dangerous heights. Their progress must be halted.
Your orders are our will. How do you wish us to proceed?
Each of you will disperse among the universes. Your mission is to find those warriors who dare to exceed the limits imposed. There's no room for compassion. The threat must be eradicated. Annihilate them without mercy.
We will, Father Zeno. No warrior will be strong enough to defy your will.
The shadow creatures set off to every universe and timeline to destroy every warrior who would participate. Along the way, they encountered weak warriors who they destroyed with these strong and very powerful ones. It was dusk when suddenly the Earth's atmosphere trembled with an unnatural darkness. In the blink of an eye, shadow creatures emerged from the interdimensional shadows, ethereal and menacing beings that would challenge even the strength of the mightiest warriors. Kakarot and Vegeta, training on the vast battlefield of Earth, sensed the arrival of an ominous presence. Shadow creatures, their ethereal forms and eyes burning with the intensity of darkness, materialized before them.
What are you?
We are servants of Father Zeno. Your progress has been noted and must be halted. The will of Father Zeno is the supreme law. The warriors have exceeded the allowable limits and will now be destroyed.
The shadow creatures moved with an agility that defied logic, leaving behind them trails of darkness. Kakarot and Vegeta prepared for the confrontation, their energies flashing in response to the threatening presence.
Well, it looks like we have new opponents. This should be interesting.
No matter who sends them, will not allow them to stop our progress.
The shadow creatures, speechless, rushed towards Kakarot and Vegeta with flashing speed. The battle ahead would not only be a test of strength, but a struggle between light and darkness, between the determination of the warriors and the will of the father of Zeno-sama. The battle rages and the environment, plants, stones, and sky are witness to the incredible demonstration of power. Kakarot and Vegeta, deploying a great amount of ki, are in the center ready to face the two mysterious shadow warriors that attack them. Shadow Creature 1 moves at breakneck speed, leaving only flashes of darkness in its wake. Its form is ethereal, almost impossible to follow with the eye. It attacks with incredible precision, throwing punches and kicks that defy the perception of time. Shadow Creature 2 stands out for its devastating power. Its every strike sends out waves of dark energy that distort the surrounding space. Its presence emanates an ominous aura that shakes even the particles of space. The fight begins with Kakarot and Vegeta charging forward, but the shadow creatures respond with astonishing agility, dodging every blow and counterattacking with almost invisible movements. Faced with the speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta are forced to raise their power to Super Saiyan level.
Vegeta, these guys are incredibly fast. I can't even keep up with their moves.
Looks like our usual speed isn't enough. We'll have to raise our power to the maximum.
Both Saiyans concentrate, their golden auras bursting as they transform into Super Saiyan. Their golden hair lights up the space as they launch into a fierce offensive. But the Shadow Warriors remain equally agile, gracefully dodging the attacks. The intensity of the power illuminates the space.
Now, Vegeta, let's go all out.
Let's go, Kakarot.
The Saiyans rush towards these Shadow Warriors with a fierce offensive. However, the Shadow creatures dodge their attacks with surprising grace, moving through the energy blast with ease.
Is that the best you can do, Saiyans?
Their speed is admirable, but they're still not up to par. Damn it! We can't go on like this, Kakarot. We need something else.
You're right, Vegeta. Let's take this to the next level.
Faced with persistent speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta rise their power even higher, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Their blue auras flash with intensity and the pressure of their power shakes the surrounding space. However, the Shadow Warriors are not daunted. The battle reaches its peak as the four warriors are engulfed in a frenzy of energy. Kakarot launches his attack called Kamehameha, and Vegeta launches his final flash attack, but the Shadow Warriors respond with counterattacks that defy the laws of physics. Then the clash of these powerful attacks causes an immense explosion.
A
At the precise moment that both Saiyan warriors, the shadow creatures, collided their attacks, the explosion resulting from the collision of the attacks left a crater on the battlefield, while a dense smoke obscured the view. Amidst the haze, Goku with a serious but confident expression, and Vegeta, also with a confident expression of having destroyed the shadow creatures with his attacks, stood on guard, ready to face whatever emerged from the smoke. Suddenly, as soon as the smoke dissipated from the battlefield, the shadowy creatures emerged unharmed, floating in the air with an even more intense presence. Their forms twisted, revealing an even darker and more powerful transformation. Now with eyes glowing with a more intense light, the shadow creatures uttered a great malevolent laugh and moved towards Goku and Vegeta with renowned ferocity. The sky was covered with dark clouds and lightning intermittently illuminated the scene. The creatures, once scattered, began to converge into a chaotic mass. Their bodies intertwined and merged, creating a monstrous entity that emanated a dark and malevolent aura. The fusion of the creatures was completed with a loud roar, and before Goku and Vegeta emerged, a nightmarish creature. The fused creature had a grotesque figure, with twisted limbs and glowing eyes filled with evil. Its body was enveloped in a halo of dark energy, which distorted the space around it. The ground shook with every step he took, and the waves of evil energy generated chaos on the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta exchanged determined glances. They knew they faced an unprecedented threat. The fusion of the creatures had given rise to a being of incredible power and speed. Goku frowned, clenching his fists, while Vegeta gave a cocky grin.
Kakarot, looks like things have become interesting. I didn't expect to have to face something like this.
Yes, Vegeta, this creature's no joke. We're gonna have to give it our all.
Both warriors raised their ki to the maximum, surrounding themselves with an intense golden and blue aura. Their hair stood on end and the earth trembled under the pressure of their combined power. The fused creature responded with a guttural laugh and advanced towards them with great strides.
Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together and put an end to this.
For once, Kakarot, I agree.
The battle reached its climax as Goku and Vegeta, enveloped in their golden and blue auras, launched themselves towards the fused creature. Every punch and burst of energy echoed through the air, creating a spectacle of flashes and booms. The creature, however, was not easy to defeat. Its agility and strength were astounding, dodging the Saiyan's attacks with ease.
Vegeta, we need to find an opening in its defense. Focus!
I know, Kakarot, but this thing's fast.
The fused creature responded with a ripping attack, sending the Saiyans flying across the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, however, quickly recovered and stood up with renewed determination.
We can't underestimate this thing. Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together.
All right, Kakarot, together we'll defeat it.
Goku nodded and they concentrated their energies into an amazing combined attack. A brilliant flash of light and blue light materialized in their hands, growing with each second. The fused creature, seeing the imminent threat, tried to counterattack, but it was too late.
Kame! Ah! Final Flash!
The powerful beam of combined energy shot towards the fused creature, illuminating the dark battle with its radiance. However, just when impact seemed inevitable, the creature, in the last act of desperation, deployed a dark shield that managed to resist the Saiyan's assault. The result explosion sent Goku and Vegeta flying backwards, returning them to their base form, leaving them dazed and severely injured on the ground. The fused creature, though weakened, struggled to its feet, its malevolent aura flickering, but far from fading completely.
Vegeta, we're in trouble. This thing's stronger than we thought.
Vegeta, however, lay motionless on the ground with visible wounds and his aura rapidly diminishing.
Vegeta! Don't give up, Vegeta!
The fused creature, slowly recovering, calmly approached towards Vegeta with a palpable malevolence in its glowing eyes.
Your efforts are futile. I'm the amalgam of darkness itself. This is the end of you, Saiyan Prince.
Goku, full of rage and despair, stood up and threw himself towards the creature with what was left of his strength. However, the creature, with a simple wave of its hand, unleashed a wave of dark energy that enveloped Kakarot and threw him violently to the ground.
Vegeta, we need a plan.
The fused creature approached Vegeta, lifting him off the ground with one hand. The Saiyan prince, barely conscious, opened his eyes to meet the cold, merciless gaze of his energy.
Kakarot, do whatever it takes.
The fused creature, with a contemptuous gesture, threw Vegeta back to the ground, leaving him on the verge of death. The battle, which had begun with hope, now became bleaker than ever. With his partner down and his own strength waning, Kakarot faced a strength that seemed insurmountable. Goku, sensing the desperation of the situation, recalled the hermit seeds he carried with him. The moment the fused creature came speeding towards him, Goku managed to dodge that blow swiftly, approached Vegeta and handed him one of the valuable seeds. "Vegeta, eat this! It'll give you the energy to keep fighting!" At the same time, Goku also consumed one of the seeds. Vegeta, barely conscious, accepted the seed and consumed it urgently. The hermit seed acted quickly, healing Vegeta's wounds and restoring his life energy. Flashes of golden light surrounded the Saiyan prince. As he stood up, his eyes were gaining determination.
Kakarot, don't underestimate me. I can keep fighting.
"Fine, Vegeta, but we need something else to defeat this creature. Do you remember the fusion technique?" Vegeta frowned but nodded in understanding. Both Saiyans positioned themselves in front of the fused creature, focusing their energies. "Vegeta, let's do it! Let's merge!"
I don't think it'll come to this, Kakarot, but I have no choice.
Both warriors stood side by side, raising their hands into the front and began to concentrate their energies. The atmosphere was filled with a brilliant glow as the two Saiyans merged into a single entity. The resulting figure was a perfect combination of Goku and Vegeta, with a powerful golden aura enveloping their fused bodies. This fusion creature showed signs of unease as it witnessed the transformation. The new Saiyan entity turned to it with a determined look. The fusion between Goku and Vegeta, known as Gogeta, and his Super Saiyan form was now evident. Gogeta, with the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta, said, "Prepare for defeat. We're the fusion of the Saiyans, there's nothing we cannot overcome." With a unified shout, the Saiyan fusion lunged towards the fused creature with incredible speed and power. The battle between the Saiyan fusion and the fused creature erupted into a frenzy of power and skill. Every move, every blow, every burst of energy shook the battlefield. The earth trembled under the intensity of the confrontation, and the sky lit up with the sparks of energy released during the fight. Gogeta, with the combination of Goku's cunning and Vegeta's determination, proved to be an unstoppable force. However, the fused creature did not yield easily, showing a resilience that defied expectations. Both contenders were at a stalemate, each pushing their limits to the max. Goku and Vegeta, in their fused form, began to feel the need to unleash more power to overcome their formidable foe. In a moment of perfect synchronization, both Saiyans raised their ki to the limit, and the atmosphere itself began to be distorted with the built-up pressure.
It's time to take this to the next level!
In a dazzling flash, the Saiyan fusion underwent an astonishing metamorphosis. His once golden hair now turned sapphire blue, and his aura took on a heavenly hue. The transformation to Super Saiyan Blue had taken place. The fused creature recoiled momentarily as it witnessed the new form. Shocked by the magnitude of the power unleashed, however, the Saiyan fusion showed no mercy and lunged towards with dizzying speed.
Prepare for true Saiyan strength!
The attacks and counterattacks reached a speed that defied perception. The fused creature, despite its previous endurance, was outmatched by the speed and aggressiveness of the Saiyan fusion in its Super Saiyan Blue form. The battle had not yet come to an end. In a final attempt to resist, the fused creature unleashed its own dark power, enveloping the Saiyan fusion in a spiral of chaotic energy. Gogeta, in response, concentrated his energy to the maximum in an act of rage.
Let's go farther!
The energy surrounding the Saiyan fusion intensified and exploded in a dazzling burst. The bright blue aura became more intense, and the power of the Saiyan fusion increased to unimaginable levels. The sky lit up with glows and waves of energy as the fused creature faced Gogeta's unstoppable strength. However, in an unexpected twist, the creature began to build up a dark and sinister energy, revealing a hidden power.
Your resistance is impressive, Saiyans, but you have not seen my true potential.
The fused creature transformed, its fusion distorting further. A black aura filled with malevolence surrounded its body as its eyes glowed with terrifying intensity.
What the hell is it doing?
The fused creature, now imbued with a new dark power, lunged at Gogeta with surprising speed. Despite Gogeta's formidable strength in his Super Saiyan Blue form, the fused creature seemed to be able to anticipate even more.
Now you'll experience true darkness.
Gogeta sensed the threat, deciding to take his own power to the extreme. In a blink of an eye, he activated the technique, the Kaioken. His blue aura multiplied into a mixture of blue and red, and the intensity of the battle reached levels never seen before.
It's time to put an end to this! Kaioken!
Gogeta's speed and strength multiplied exponentially, and the fused creature was momentarily caught off guard. However, the creature counterattacked with a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gogeta, but he struggled to resist. Gogeta, in his Kaioken state, felt the need to raise his power even higher. Thus, his ki increased, causing the earth to tremble from such immense power, destroying mountains and lifting rocks into the skies. At that precise moment, he disappeared from the sight of the fused creature, appearing from behind and creating a glowing bluish sphere of energy that materialized between his hands.
Final Kamehameha!
The energy sphere impacted against the fused creature with unparalleled force. The resulting explosion lit up the sky, dispersed the creature's dark energy. However, when the light faded, the fused creature emerged once again, albeit visibly weakened.
Do not underestimate my power, Saiyans. I have attained a form beyond your comprehension.
Gogeta, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared for the next confrontation. The battle, far from over, was entering even more dangerous terrain, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance in this fierce struggle between light and darkness. The battlefield was plunged into utter chaos, with destructive shockwaves reverberating throughout space. Gogeta, with his combined aura of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, was moving at speeds that defied perception. The fused creature, despite his new enhanced form, was momentarily outmatched by the Saiyan warrior's speed.
Darkness cannot defeat light! It's time to seal your fate!
Though weakened, the fused creature did not give up. With impressive speed, it lunged towards Gogeta, unleashing a series of dark attacks that even defied the Kaioken's speed.
Your light is but a fleeting glimmer. In the eternity of darkness, you will suffer.
Gogeta, with sharp reflexes at precise moments, will dodge the fused creature's attacks. The battle reached an even greater frenzy, with a clash of fists and kicks creating waves of energy that swept the surrounding landscape. The once dark and stormy sky were illuminated by the flashes on the contest. In the beginning of the moment of opportunity, Gogeta channeled the Kaioken to an even higher level. His aura became more intense, mixing blue with red in a dazzling display. Seeing the new burst of power, the fused creature recoiled momentarily, a moment Gogeta took advantage of to gather energy.
This is the limit of your darkness! Prepare for the end!
Gogeta, with unmatched speed, appeared in front of the fused creature, concentrating his energy to a single point. A glowing sphere of energy formed between his hands, but this time, the sphere was not blue, it was a mixture of colors. A fusion of the power of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken.
Kaioken 20 times! Final Kamehameha!
The now larger, more powerful energy sphere hurled with impressive speed towards the fused creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire horizon, causing the mountains and valleys to be enveloped in a dazzling glow. When the light faded, the fused creature lay defeated on the ground. Its dark aura completely dissipated. Gogeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue form and Kaioken still activated, watched cautiously. The intense battle had come to an end, but the price of the confrontation was reflected in the devastated earth and the wear and tear visible on the Saiyan warrior.
I hope that was enough. This universe can't take any more of this destruction.
With a flash, Gogeta deactivated the Kaioken and returned to his base form. As silence descended over the battlefield, the lingering question was whether the threat had truly been eliminated or if there was still challenges to be faced in the vast cosmos. Goku and Vegeta, feeling that the threat had been neutralized for the moment, separated from the Saiyan fusion. The intensity of the battle had left both Saiyans exhausted, but their attention was diverted to a disturbing reality. In the corner of their vision, they watched as a small dark creature made its way towards where Gohan and Broly were standing.
Vegeta, something's happening! We must get there fast!
Those two are in trouble if that thing gets to them. Let's go, Goku.
Both Saiyans, despite their exhaustion, dashed towards Gohan and Broly's location with as much speed as possible. As they approached, they could see the dark creature getting closer and closer to the two warriors. Gohan, who was training with Broly in an attempt to increase his skills, noticed Goku and Vegeta's arrival urgently.
Dad! Vegeta! Something's coming!
Broly, with his piercing gaze, had also sensed the approaching threat.
Evil creature, we will fight.
The small dark creature, noticing the presence of the Saiyans, stopped advancing and displayed a malevolent laugh.
Ha ha ha! Your victory was short-lived. This is only the first of many surprises.
Before they could react, the dark creature split into multiple smaller shadows, surrounding Gohan and Broly with astonishing speed.
Watch out, Broly! They're fast and dangerous!
We will fight. We won't let them defeat us.
Goku and Vegeta, arriving just in time, joined the battle. The battle became a chaotic dance of blows and explosions as the Saiyans fought the dark shadows that multiplied endlessly.
Let's finish this quickly. Gohan, Broly, stay strong.
Got it, Vegeta!
Broly, unleashing his titanic power, emitted a wave of energy that temporarily dispersed the dark shadows. However, the dark creature, in a final act of desperation, merged back into a larger, more powerful form.
My shadows cannot be so easily defeated. The real battle has just begun.
The shadow creature, now strengthened and more menacing than ever, faced the four Saiyan warriors with palpable malevolence. Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta moved into battle stance, facing the shadow creature with determination.
Come on, guys! Let's work together and put an end to this menace once and for all!
Broly growled in agreement, his power emanating from him with an imposing force. Goku and Vegeta, despite their earlier exhaustion, raised their energies ready for the battle ahead. The shadow creature, with a sinister laugh, lunged towards them with surprising speed. The Saiyans responded with a coordinated assault, launching energy blasts and performing combo attacks. However, the shadow creature was agile and dodged their attacks with ease.
We can't let this thing get away. Concentrate on attacking together.
You're right, Vegeta! If we fight them as a team, we can overcome anything!
The four Saiyans synchronized their movements, attacking in harmony. Broly unloaded titanic blows. Gohan used his agility and advanced techniques, while Goku and Vegeta coordinated their energies to create a combined assault. Despite their efforts, the shadow creature proved to be resilient and adaptable. It defended with cunning and counterattacked with fury. In a moment of tension, the shadow creature unleashed a dark glow that enveloped its form, transforming to an even more powerful and monstrous version.
It's getting stronger again!
It doesn't matter. I'll destroy it.
The battle intensified as the shadow creature, in its enhanced form, launched waves of dark energy and unleashed more devastating attacks. The Saiyans, however, did not back down. Despite the gravity of the situation, their determination burned stronger than ever.
There's no limit to our strength when we fight together! Come on, guys, we can't lose!
This thing doesn't know who it's messing with. Get ready for what's coming.
Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta channeled their energies to the maximum, shaking the earth under the intensity of their combined power. In a unified act, the four Saiyans raised their ki to the limit and lunged towards the shadow creature with indomitable resolve. The shadow creature, now in its strengthened form, unleashed a dark energy that enveloped Broly, possessing the mighty Saiyan with a malevolent influence. Broly, his eyes now awash with shadows, stood before the other Saiyans with a menacing presence.
Broly, I won't let you be used as a puppet. We must save him. We won't let this thing manipulate Broly. Come on, guys, let's protect ourselves and save our friend.
This is getting more complicated than I thought. But no matter, we won't let the darkness win.
The battle began with the shadow creature using Broly's immense power against them. The controlled Saiyans' attacks were fierce, with waves of energy and bursts of ki that challenged even the most experienced warriors. The Saiyans dodged and counterattacked, but the shadow creature took advantage of Broly's brute strength to counter his moves.
We must weaken it enough to free Broly! Dad, Vegeta, let's follow the plan and attack in unison!
The three Saiyans coordinated, launching a series of swift and powerful attacks. However, the shadow creature moved with agility, dodging most of the blows and countering with blows of its own. Broly, under the influence of the dark possession, was showing superhuman endurance.
It's not enough! Broly,
Fight against this influence!
We must force him to break free. We're gonna give it our all.
In a moment of desperation, the Saiyans decided to raise their powers to the maximum. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan second stage, Gohan advanced his mystical form, and Vegeta unleashed his own power into Super Saiyan second stage. The three Saiyans surrounded Broly, launching a combination of flurry of powerful attacks.
Broly, resist! Don't let their darkness consume you!
The shadow creature, feeling the combined presence of the three Saiyan warriors, showed signs of weakness. However, in a desperate act, the dark energy intensified its hold on Broly, raising its power even higher and unleashing unbridled fury.
We can't give up! We're going to free Broly, whatever it takes!
The battle reached its climax as the three Saiyan warriors, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, clashed against the shadow creature possessing Broly. The unleashed energy created a spectacle of flashes, explosions, and shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Goku, with his power as a Super Saiyan, moved with astonishing speed, launched energy blasts and accurate punches at the shadow creature. Gohan, in his mystical form, unleashed a combination of fast attacks and advanced techniques, seeking to weaken the dark possession that controlled Broly. Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan second phase form, displayed titanic power, coordinating his attacks with calculated precision.
Broly, listen to my voice! Don't be consumed by this darkness!
The shadow creature, however, resisted tenaciously, harnessing Broly's brute strength and ferocity to counter the Saiyan's attacks. Broly, under the dark possession, responded with unstoppable strength, his attacks more intense and uncontrolled.
We need to weaken that possession! Come on, guys, keep up the pressure!
This dark power won't last forever. We must resist.
The battle grew more frantic. With each passing moment, the shadow creature, sensing the threat of the Saiyans, intensified its hold on Broly, fusing its dark energy with the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan.
We can't back down now! Broly's our friend, and we won't let this darkness control him!
In a moment of perfect synchronization, the three Saiyans focused their energies into a coordinated attack. Goku launched a Kamehameha, Gohan unleashed a Masenko, and Vegeta fired a final flash, all aimed at the shadow creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the battlefield, creating an energy storm. However, when the light faded, the shadow creature Broly still stood, visibly weakened but far from defeated.
It's not enough! We must find a way to free Broly from this possession!
At that moment, the shadow creature, taking advantage of the Saiyan's momentary weakness, launched a surprise attack, sending Goku and Gohan to the ground. Vegeta, with his rage in his eyes, stood up determined.
Enough's enough! We won't let this thing continue to manipulate Broly.
Vegeta concentrated his ki to the maximum, unleashing a new transformation. His intense blue aura transformed into an even brighter and more powerful hue.
Super Saiyan Blue!
The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble at the magnitude of the transformation. Vegeta, now in his evolved form, launched himself towards the shadow creature with renewed speed and power. Vegeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved caused a dramatic change in the intensity of the battle. His bright blue aura flashed with overwhelming energy as he charged towards the shadowy creature and Broly, who was still under his influence.
It's time to put an end to this. Broly, I'll fight to free you from this darkness.
The shadow creature, sensing the threat posed by Super Saiyan Blue, adopted a defensive stance. On the other hand, Broly, his eyes still darkened, prepared to face Vegeta. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of quick and precise attacks, combining punches and kicks with astonishing speed. Each move was charged with the strength of the new form, and the shadow creature was forced to retreat in the face of Vegeta's fury.
Broly, regain control. I'll not allow this darkness to consume you.
Broly, under the influence of the dark possession, responded with impressive stamina. His attacks were brutal and uncontrolled, but Vegeta moved with a dexterity that defied expectations.
I need to find an opening in this possession.
In an act of bravery, Vegeta launched himself directly towards Broly. Their fists collided forcefully, and Vegeta, using all his skill, made precise strikes that temporarily weakened the dark influence.
Broly, fight this! You're stronger than this darkness!
The shadowy creature, seeing Vegeta's resistance, increased his energy and fused even more with Broly. Now the dark influence was more entrenched than ever, and Broly unleashed an explosion of wild power.
You can't stop me, Saiyan Prince!
Vegeta, not backing down, continued to engage Broly. The battle reached new heights as both warriors unleashed the most powerful attacks. Vegeta launched a big bang attack while Broly responded with a gigantic charge of dark energy. The collision of energies generated a huge explosion that blanketed the area. After the dust settled, Vegeta lay on the ground, clearly exhausted but not giving up.
I can't lose. My determination's stronger than your darkness.
The battle between Vegeta and Broly, who was possessed by the shadow creature, reached a critical point. The overflowing energy of the confrontation was spreading across the battlefield, distorting the air and creating palpable tension. At that crucial moment, Goku found himself regaining consciousness, stood up, and immediately went to Saiyan's Prince's side.
Vegeta, let's go! Let's give it all we've got!
Goku's transformation into Super Saiyan Phase 2 and joined the fray. The shadow creature, seeing the arrival of another Saiyan warrior, prepared to face the new threat.
Kakarot, you're just in time. This thing has gotten stronger with Broly.
We'll face it together! Broly, we won't let this darkness control you!
The three Saiyans stood in formation, ready to deal with the shadow creature fused with Broly. The intensity of the conflict increased even more, with flashes of energy and clashes of fists echoing throughout the battlefield.
Come on, Kakarot, let's attack in unison and free Broly.
I got it, Vegeta! Together, we'll free him!
The Saiyans coordinated their attacks, launching a combined blast towards the shadow creature. Despite their efforts, Broly's dark possession was still resisting, fueled by the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. Broly, under the influence of the shadow creature, unleashed an uncontrolled fury. His attacks were unpredictable and devastating, putting the Saiyans on the defensive. Goku, Vegeta, and the shadow creature continued to exchange energy blasts and powerful blows.
Vegeta, we must break that possession! We can't let Broly fall into darkness!
Roger that, Kakarot. Let's keep attacking together.
Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, the fiery aura of the Saiyans lit up the sky, a visual manifestation of their mammoth power. Goku and Vegeta, feeling the weight of the battle, decided to take it a step further. They joined their energies in a symphony of power, a final bid to tear apart the shadows enveloping the evil presence. The shadow creature on the brink of the abyss responded with desperation. It raised its own power, and the darkness churned with intensity as it struggled to resist the combined onslaught of the Saiyans. The clash of energies created a cataclysm of flashes and booms, shaking the battlefield to its core. At that critical moment, the energy explosion was unleashed with dazzling magnificence. The earth shook, and the shockwaves swept across the landscape, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, enveloped in the blanket of the explosion, were momentarily eclipsed by the blinding light and dancing shadow. When the shimmering luminosity faded, the Saiyans found themselves faced with a new scenario. On the ground lay Broly, his figure shrouded in a residual haze of the contest. The dark aura that had consumed him had finally dissipated. Stillness reigned on the battlefield. As the warriors approached with worried looks, the formidable warrior who now resisted, his power darkened, finally silenced.
We did it, Vegeta! Broly's free!
Yes, but this shadow creature's still a problem. We can't let our guard down.
Vegeta nodded grimly as they watched Broly, who lay on the ground, slowly recovering from the intense battle. However, at that moment of apparent calm, the shadow creature, cunning and unnoticed, had left Broly's possession to seek a new host. The dark entity swiftly swept into the shadows, unnoticed by the Saiyans, who still assessing their companion's condition. Silently, the shadow creature crept towards Gohan, who had been watching the battle from a distance. Gohan, oblivious to the threat looming over him, felt a shiver run down his spine, just as the shadow creature enveloped him with its dark presence. A momentary flash of its eyes indicated that something was terribly wrong. At that instant, Gohan, with a sudden alteration in his expression, went on guard without warning. His gaze, now posed by the shadow creature, glowed with a malevolence that contrasted with his gentle nature. Goku, noticing the sudden tension, turned towards Gohan, but before he could react, Gohan, under the influence of the shadow creature, moved with supernatural speed. The confrontation with Broly had left the Saiyans exhausted, and the shadow creature, seizing the opportunity, vanished into the darkness along with Gohan. Vegeta, realizing the situation, gritted his teeth in fury. The threat persisted, and now Gohan, a valuable ally, was in the hands of the shadows. Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for a new confrontation, aware that the battle had not yet come to an end. The tension in the air was palpable as Goku and Vegeta, still worried about Broly, with determination turned towards the place where the dark entity had vanished.
Damn it, where'd that thing go?
I don't know, Vegeta, but we must find it before it hurts Gohan.
The two Saiyans, quick as the wind, rushed towards where Gohan had been standing, their senses alert. The shadow creature, now inside Gohan, emerged from the shadows with a sinister laugh.
Looks like they're not as cunning as they thought. Now I have a new toy for my plans. Get out of Gohan, you damn creature!
I'll not allow you to possess my son!
Ha! You think you could stop me? My power possesses even more of your combined forces. Do not underestimate the Saiyans. We have overcome greater challenges than you.
Leave Gohan and face your fate, creature. You'll not be victorious.
The shadow creature, now in control of Gohan, smiled malevolently before responding.
We'll see how long you can resist. Gohan is now an instrument of my will.
The shadow creature possessing Gohan unleashed a burst of dark energy that distorted the surrounding space. Goku and Vegeta suddenly found themselves during a chaotic confrontation, with Gohan now transformed into an instrument of the malevolent entity. The waves of energy radiating from Gohan's possessed figure created an ominous aura that filled the battlefield, defying the Saiyans' endurance and determination. The Saiyans, in their Super Saiyan Blue form, prepared for the impending clash. The shadow creature, using Gohan's body, moved with supernatural agility, dodging the Saiyans' first attacks with grace and malice. Gohan, his eyes now filled with darkness, lunged at Goku with astonishing speed. Goku blocked Gohan's first few blows with difficulty, feeling the enhanced strength and speed of his new controlled son. The fight was intense, each move charged with power and ferocity. Meanwhile, Vegeta positioned himself strategically, assessing the situation, looking for an opening to attack. The shadow creature, through Gohan, unleashed a flurry of attack, which devastating blows that kept Goku on the defensive. However, Goku's ability to adapt quickly to the battle allowed him to counter the attacks and counterattack with his own overwhelming power. Vegeta, sensing an opportunity, lunged at the shadow creature from an unexpected angle. However, the dark entity had sharp reflexes and deflected Vegeta's attack with ease, throwing Gohan against Goku as a distraction. The shadow creature's strategy paid off, as it took advantage of the distraction to hit Vegeta with a beam of dark energy. Vegeta, although he resisted the impact, was momentarily weakened. The entity, now with a malevolent smile, turned to him.
Damn it! This isn't over, shadow creature.
Goku, reacting quickly, stepped between the shadow creature and Vegeta.
Vegeta, hold on! We can't let this thing divide us.
The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos at its zone, released a dark aura that enveloped both Saiyans. The dark energy sought to confuse and weaken their senses. However, the Saiyans' instinctive connection to Ki enabled them to resist the dark influence. The battle raged in a frenzy of clashing colors and energies. Gohan, controlled by the shadow creature, moved with a mixture of speed and agility that defied the laws of physics. Goku and Vegeta, each focusing on their own battlefront, were trying to coordinate their attacks to free Gohan from the dark possession.
Gohan, fight this darkness! You're stronger than this!
Gohan, though showing flashes of resistance, was caught in an internal struggle between his will and the shadow creature's control. The battle grew more challenging. With each passing second, the shadow creature reveled in its ability to manipulate and corrupt one of Earth's mightiest warriors. Vegeta, recovering from the earlier onslaught, threw himself back into the fray. The shadow creature, however, anticipated his attack and gracefully dodged Vegeta's attempts to strike it. The dark entity counterattacked with a series of precise blows that forced Vegeta to retreat.
You damn shadow, don't underestimate the Prince of the Saiyans.
Goku, seeing his partner's difficulty, raised his power to the maximum. Dazzling energy emanated from his Super Saiyan Blue form as he prepared for a concentrated attack. The shadow creature, noticing the glowing threat, diverted its attention to Goku.
Vegeta, keep up the pressure! I'm gonna concentrate my energy to free Gohan!
Vegeta nodded and increased his offensive, distracting the shadow creature as Goku concentrated his power. The fight reached a new level of intensity, with each move echoing across the vast battlefield. The energy collided, creating shockwaves that distorted reality itself. Goku, eyes glowing with determination, unleashed his most powerful attack, A sphere of glowing blue energy formed in his outstretched hands. Charged with the combined strength of the Saiyans, the spear grew in size, and the power as Goku had held it in place.
It's time to free Gohan!
The shadow creature, realizing the threat, moved quickly to stop Goku's attack. Vegeta, taking advantage of the distraction, lunged with renewed fury, looking for an opening to attack. The battle reached its climax when Goku released the energy sphere, ascending it directly towards the shadow creature. The energy sphere burst into a dazzling flash, illuminating the battlefield with intense light. Shockwaves swept through the darkness as Goku's purifying energy sought to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession. However, as the light faded and the earth stopped shaking, the shadow creature emerged seemingly unharmed. The dark entity, now irritated, turned to the Saiyans with a twisted laugh.
Is that all you can do? My power is unbreakable.
Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for the next assault. The battle, far from ending, dragged on into confrontation of epic proportions. Darkness and light collided in an endless clash, with the will of the Saiyans resisting against the entity that threatened to plunge them into the shadows. The dark creature, after resisting Goku's powerful attack, showed a malicious smile. A dark glow enveloped Gohan, and his body began to tremble with intensity. A guttural scream echoed through the air as the dark entity forced a unique transformation on the Saiyan warrior. Gohan, under the shadow creature's influence, contorted and his body was enveloped in a dark, feral energy. The earth trembled with the intensity of the transformation, and Gohan's figure began to change. Defined musculature, red eyes, a wild gaze, long gray hair, and emerging in the new form, Gohan Dark Beast. Vegeta and Goku, shocked by the unexpected evolution, instinctively recoiled from the overwhelming presence of Dark Gohan Beast. The shadow creature had accomplished what it could not do with Broly, unleash a unique and uncontrolled transformation on Gohan. Dark Beast Gohan, now freed from any hint of rationality, roared skyward, emitting an overwhelming energy that shook the battlefield. His eyes glowed with an animalistic intensity, and his posture indicated that human control was suppressed.
This can't be happening. What did that thing do?
The shadow creature managed to unlock something inside Gohan. This won't be easy.
The shadow creature, pleased with the success of its manipulation, watched the scene with satisfaction.
Now, witness my true power. The Saiyan Beast Warrior. How do you plan to stop him?
Dark Beast Gohan let out a deafening roar and lunged towards Vegeta with impressive speed. Dark Beast Gohan's attacks were ferociously savage, his brute strength and speed surpassing even Broly's most rampaging transformation. Vegeta, using his speed and agility, dodged Dark Beast Gohan's first attacks. However, the Saiyan Beast Warrior's ferocity was unpredictable, and Vegeta was forced to deploy all his skill to stay out of range of the devastating attacks. Goku, assessing the situation, transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and rushed to Vegeta's aid. The two Saiyans fought in tactical coordination, looking to open an opportunity to counter Gohan's savage new form. The battle became a whirlwind of energy, with explosions and crashes echoing across the battlefield. The shadow creature in the shadows continued to manipulate and fuel Dark Beast Gohan's fury. The Saiyan strategy was becoming more and more challenging as Dark Beast Gohan seemed to be one step ahead, anticipating their moves.
Damn it! Gohan Beast is too unpredictable.
We must find a way to free Gohan from this transformation. We can't let the shadow control his true power.
As the Saiyans faced Gohan Beast's fury, the shadow creature watched from the shadows and joined the chaos he had unleashed. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment, and the Saiyans' endurance was being tested in the face of Beast Gohan's uncontrollable fury. The battle raged on in a titanic struggle between light and darkness, with the hope of freeing Gohan from the influence of the shadow creature hanging in delicate balance. The Saiyans, determined to overcome this challenge, faced an enemy that had managed to unleash an even greater internal threat than before. While the intense battle raged on the battlefield, Piccolo, the Namekian sage, was immersed in his mental training somewhere secluded. His concentration was so deep that he could feel an abrupt shift in ki, a disturbance that reverberated through space and time. A shiver ran down his back, indicating the gravity of the situation.
Something's not right.
The Namekian instantly stood up, his cloak billowing as he focused on the direction of the glowing chaos. The power he felt was not just brute force. It was an amalgam of dark energies that seemed to defy the very essence of reality. Wasting no time, Piccolo prepared to approach this side of the conflict. Back on the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta fought valiantly against Dark Beast Gohan, who moved with uncontrollable ferocity under the influence of the Shadow Creature. The Dark Entity, sensing Piccolo's arrival, smirked.
Looks like we have a new guest. This just gets more interesting.
Goku and Vegeta focused on Gohan Beast, noticing Piccolo's presence as he appeared on the battlefield with a serenity that contrasted with the surrounding chaos.
What happened here? What have you done with Gohan?
That shadow thing possessed Gohan and transformed it into a wild beast.
We can't free Gohan this way. The shadow creature manipulates his power in unimaginable ways.
Dark Beast Gohan, noticing Piccolo's arrival, turned to him with wild eyes. The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos, prepared for the next act of this heartbreaking play.
Welcome, Piccolo. You're just in time to witness the inevitable downfall of these Saiyans. Don't underestimate the Saiyans or my determination. I'm here to free Gohan.
The Namekian braced himself for the confrontation, deploying his ki with an intensity that made it clear he would not be a mere spectator in this battle. Dark Beast Gohan, fueled by the shadowy influence, roared and lunged towards Piccolo with a speed that defied all logic. The battle became even more chaotic with Piccolo's entrance. His movements were precise and calculated, contrasting with the wild ferocity of Dark Beast Gohan. Goku and Vegeta, aware of Piccolo's strategic skill, adjusted their approach to coordinate their attacks with the Namekian. Meanwhile, the shadow creature watched the battle with a Machiavellian smile, enjoying the confrontation between the forces of light and shadow. The Dark Entity was determined to prove that its influence was insurmountable. The fight unfolded in a whirlwind of colliding energies, with Piccolo demonstrating his tactical and strategic prowess. Dark Beast Gohan, however, remained a formidable challenge, his erratic movements and uncontrolled strength testing the tenacity of the warriors on the battlefield.
Goku, Vegeta, we need to plan to break the connection between Gohan and that shadow creature.
You're right, Piccolo. We need to attack from different fronts and destabilize that connection.
I'll take care of keeping Beast Gohan busy. Kakarot, you use the connection you have with your son to try to isolate the shadow creature.
Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their efforts with Piccolo's strategic expertise, went on the assault. Piccolo used his wisdom to be able to devise a way to get Dark Beast Gohan out of said possession, while Vegeta unleashed his fury with calculated attacks to keep the beast at bay. As the battle continued, the shadow creature began to feel the pressure of the combined strategy of the Saiyans and Piccolo. The connection between Gohan and the Dark Entity was under threat, and the shadow creature, despite its confidence, was beginning to show signs of concern. The battle was far from over, but the warriors' resilience was growing stronger in the face of the adversity that loomed over them. As Piccolo continued his mental struggle to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession, his Namekian senses sharpened. Keen perception led him to identify a small shadow leech clinging to Dark Beast Gohan's lower neck, a detail that had not been evident in Broly's previous possession due to his long hair covering that region.
That's it. The key in this little shadow leech on his neck. We must eliminate it to free Gohan.
Piccolo's revelation attracted the attention of Vegeta and Goku on the physical battlefield. Vegeta, upon hearing this, turned his gaze to the back of Gohan Beast's dark neck and noticed the presence of the Shadow Leech.
A Shadow Leech? That explains why we couldn't free Broly this way.
How do we eliminate it without harming Gohan?
As Piccolo struggled to maintain his mental connection, he analyzed this situation and came up with a strategy.
If we attack the Shadow Leech directly, we might harm Gohan in the process. We need a precise way to eliminate it without endangering his life.
So what's the plan, Piccolo?
Goku, you've mastered Ultra Instinct, but you can only maintain it for a few seconds. We need to take advantage of those brief moments to distract Dark Beast Gohan and allow you to get close enough to destroy the Shadow Leech.
Understood, Piccolo. I'll do my best.
But how do we make sure Beast Gohan doesn't attack while Kakarot's approaching?
That's the tricky part. We need to keep Gohan busy and distracted. Vegeta, your attacks must be precise and constant, keeping his attention on you.
I will, but Kakarot, don't make me regret this.
The battle resumed with renowned intensity. Vegeta went on the offensive, attacking Gohan Dark Beast with a series of swift and powerful blows. Gohan responded with ferocity, but Vegeta maintained agile, dodging his attacks while keeping the savage Saiyan warrior's attention. At that moment, Goku concentrated, channeling Ultra Instinct. An aura of flickering energy surrounded him as he activated the powerful transformation. His speed increased exponentially, allowing him to easily dodge Dark Beast Gohan's attacks.
Now, Goku, now's your chance.
Goku in his Ultra Instinct state moved with superhuman speed towards Gohan's rear. The shadow creature, still focused on the fierce confrontation with Vegeta, did not notice Goku's approach. This is my chance to end this! With pinpoint accuracy, Goku reached out his hand and touched the small shadow leech on Gohan's neck. The leech, upon being touched by the Ultra Instinct energy, began to fade, emitting a dark screech before dissolving completely. Dark Beast Gohan, losing connection with the Shadow Leech, shook violently, as if releasing himself from a trance. Vegeta, noticing the change, cautiously stepped back as Goku returned to his normal state. What happened?
Kakarot seems to have found a way to free you from that thing.
It was risky, but it worked.
Well done, Goku, but don't let your guard down. This shadow creature might have more tricks up its sleeve.
The immediate threat had been neutralized. The shadow creature, watching from the shadows, moving away unnoticed by the Saiyan warriors, was not about to give up. So the shadow creature set out to return to its master.